I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Hell yeah, greatest president ever. Obviously, just kidding me. I remember when people hated George Bush for stuff like this, and then he became America's sweetheart, kind of like Mike Tyson, which we talked about in the last episode. You know, sometimes you're able to overcome some of those you know, I don't know, or some of those rough patches out the starting block. But make sure you, you know, like a legal war on countries that didn't even technically attack us. But either way, you know, we don't got to get bogged down by all the details. This is Big Baby here, Sitting Politic Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. We're going live, baby. We're going live. Let's see. Y'all know what time it is. Hold on. We're in the building. Make sure you subscribe. Stick around for some more content, similar content. I'm going to be going live more often. I've been telling y'all this. This is the truth. This is the truth. This is the way. As they say in The Mandalorian. I want to shout out some of the channels that I do some work with. Go check them out. We got Gates Open Media here. We got Smooth Recoil. Go check him out for gaming. Gates Open Media does kind of like what I'm doing here. And also go check out Florida Boy J, Perspective and Facts podcast. He gave me this advice a long time ago. Like, hey, anytime you're putting out content, go live. It only makes sense. You know, interact with your audience if you can, and then the stuff's going to get dropped on the page after that. So I want to give this a real shot. I want to heed that advice and see what it is. But yeah, also Brightside Podcast. Those are my guys. Hip hop heavy, great pod, and just, you know, yeah, putting out that good content, man. That's what it is. And then of course here, Sit in Politics. Make sure you subscribe. I don't know if y'all could hear my child just screaming in the background for no reason, not in the room, literally on the other side of the house, just giving out. I said, hey, I'm about to go live, love you. And she's like, all right then, me too. Me too, we're both going live. Sit in Politics though, baby, you already know what it is. Make sure you're in the building. We do these full episodes every Tuesday, and videos drop every single day. So let's go ahead and see what we want to get into here. I will have Paul dropping in with me at some point. So some of the stuff that I have on the docket today, which includes some football, some non-football topics, as you can see in the title. We're going to talk about OnlyFans. Is that something that you should talk about with your partner? Yes or no? Is your body your choice? Of course, that's what we say. You know, is that actually the right way to go about that in practice? We'll see. We got climate activists wilding out as they do. I don't know how much you guys know about climate activists, but from time to time, they fuck some shit up. From time to time, they'll throw some paint on a beautiful painting that already has paint that's dried. It's not what you want to do with the painting. Just destroy it or whatever. You know, they'll run through the middle of a sports event. I have less of an issue with that, to be honest. A sports event, a public event. You know, I'm not saying you should run out. That's not necessarily advisable to run out on the stage and see what it is. But I will say that in the case where you're destroying art that cannot be returned to its natural state, you know, some of this stuff is priceless. People that put the work into this painting that kind of immortalizes them in a way as an artist. Obviously, I don't know how much Leonardo da Vinci, for example, had to do with climate change, you know, and adverse effects on the climate. Although he was, you know, playing God, trying to build fucking flying suits and crazy shit like that. So then again, maybe he has a lot to do with it. And maybe, you know, that's why I'd love to sit down with a climate activist if y'all know somebody. But whenever I see this, it makes me just want to like go turn my car on in the drive. Don't even go nowhere. Just turn my car in the driveway and just like let it go. Like, you're not winning me over with the destroying beautiful fucking art. I love art. So that's me, man. I don't know. I do understand the need to have to get eyes on your cause, obviously, to try to further that. You know, you destroy you know, you destroy the fucking Mona Lisa, you know, that has a like cultural significance in everybody's mind. It'll be reported on more than if you just like stood in front of an Exxon and we're like, you know, stop fossil fuel. We have to stop using gas for real, guys. But absolutely fucking disgusting when you go through there and you destroy. But so that's something I'll get into. I want to get into that with Paul, see his opinion on it. I have a strong opinion on that one. The first AI CEO. So we've talked about that a lot on here in trying to protect workers and so on and so forth. So these would be workers that make a significantly higher salary. It's interesting that it may be a situation where those jobs are impacted in the short term. Not really something that I think that, at least I was thinking about. A lot of times when we were having these conversations, we were talking about frontline positions and things of that nature. Also, DJ Khaled, does he need to speak out against this shit happening in Palestine? Does he have a moral obligation to do so? That's going to be very interesting. You know, I got some videos and stuff, some more protesters, man. It's the protest pod, except, well, I guess you could call this a little bit of a protest. Let's get into the first video I want to show y'all here. This is the Las Vegas Raiders, man. They just won. They won again. Defense was looking phenomenal. I picked them up in fantasy football. If you're in a fantasy football league with me, then you know I'm busting your ass and you know you don't want to play me. I'm really, 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 really good at that. You know, I don't want to like sit here. I don't want to make it the fantasy football pod. But anybody that plays fantasy football with me, I'm in a few leagues. You know you don't want to play the kid. You know you don't want to play the white Bronco. You know, the mystical one, Mystical Mac, whatever you want to call your boy. That's how I get down with it. Definitely representing the fantasy football. And in this instance, wow, Josh Jacobs. You already know your boy didn't draft him. He's been fucking off all season, wanting to get paid. I don't do that. I don't draft people that want to get paid and might not want to play because they want to get paid. Fuck all that, you know? So Josh Jacobs here, if you drafted him, then maybe you're starting to not regret it now because honestly, I don't know what he did in the last game. I didn't watch all of it. I did watch that. Actually, I did watch that game because I remember the defense going crazy. But this is their locker room. This is after the win. They have an interim head coach. The other guy, Josh McDaniels, he got fired. The GM got fired. Don't remember that gentleman's name, but he's out of there. So this is them after the win, immediately after the firing.
Came together, bro. Worked out, bro. This was a crazy week, you know. And I just want to give a shout out to, you know, the guy in the position now, you know what I'm saying, game ball to AP, man. Hey.
Guy in a position now. This fucking team hates Josh McDaniel. Just understand that. Like there's dog whistling happening. Every single person in the locker room has a cigar, whether they smoke or not. Interesting.
Been a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? A lot of attention.
They did beat the Giants, who lost the quarterback.
Y'all know the toughest position to play in this game is quarterback. I think we need to show some acknowledgement.
I like how maybe like 40% of the team, yeah. Other people are like, what the fuck are you talking about, quarterback? Like, come on, man. Oh my God.
One more. Where's Champ Kelly at?
I love it.
Champ, we've been talking since day one.
No doubt.
Now we're here. Now, AP, all of us, bro, this is the beginning. Like you said, excuse my language. Like the stuff, have fun tonight.
This team is so happy. A weight has been lifted. A weight has been lifted off the shoulder. It is crazy to see. Like Max Crosby, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I watch the Raiders game this year, he is going crazy, and I see his progression year over year. But it's interesting to see, like, because we get more of these like in locker room videos after the game. After you have a coach and a GM get let go, and kind of like the gleefulness in which, you know, literally that looks like a bunch of people that who's like have had a weight lifted off their shoulder in a situation where I'm sure in a lot of cases they feel like the coach was not getting the most out of them and stuff like that. That totally makes sense. But aside from that, it's like it's a dancing on the motherfucker's grave right now. Antonio Pierce, I'm very happy to see he got an opportunity as a former player. I think that's always cool. Players that want to stick around with the game and enjoy it after their careers ended. I think that that's awesome that they get opportunities within the field, and who's better equipped to lead people in this sport rather than people who have experienced it firsthand. So I do love that. I'm not a Josh McDaniel fan or anything like that. Fuck him. New England Patriot fucking ball boy or whatever he was, which he'll probably go back to being. I think that, and honestly, they need him. I'm just kind of disappointed with, I guess, lack of emotional intelligence in the playing. No, I understand. And then also the Jimmy Garoppolo, that man's over there on the sideline. They're like, look, we know the hardest thing to play in this game is quarterback. Thank God we got a real one. There you go. Thank you, Rook. Or actually, I think Aiden, he might be a second year guy at this point. But definitely, I mean, you could feel, like I said, the tension being alleviated in the locker room. And now that you have a coaching change, there's less of a rigidness and like need to stick to what you had already put in place. So when you make a move and you sign a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo to the contract they signed him to, well, fuck, that needs to be a success. When you go and you put your name on Jimmy Garoppolo or whoever, like I said, apply this to whatever team, that makes a big move for a quarterback, whether it be drafted one or pay one. Even more so, I think, like pay one. You know who survived that? Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll survived that when they went crazy and they paid Matt Flynn. If you guys remember Matt Flynn, when they paid that man off of was it one game that he basically got paid off of? He came in for Aaron Rodgers, threw for like 5 touchdowns or something, went crazy. And then the Seattle Seahawks went and paid him. I don't remember at that time was Russell Wilson there. He might have been, but either way, they didn't want to make not even that it would be the same mistake, because Russell Wilson had played on their team and brought him to Super Bowl and stuff like that. So way more decorated than Matt Flynn, obviously. But still, they did not want to make that quarterback commitment. They're like, fuck it, Geno Smith it is. And honestly, good move. They got a ton of draft picks, and they hit those draft picks because they have a good, stable leadership and upper management and stuff like that. So it just made sense that as long as you have faith in your organization. And then you see what happened with Russell Wilson, which is it a sign of age and atrophy of skill, or is it a situation where just they decide not to pay him, and now he's in a new system, and the new system's just not really jiving the way they would like. He is already on his second head coach in 2 years on the new team. I would love to talk to him. You can't make another decision, so regretting it would be kind of useless. But if you were put in a position to make the same decision again, if there was a opportunity to stay with Seattle, who ended up trading them, would you be interested in making some of those concessions that would lead you to be able to stay with the Seattle Seahawks? I don't know. I think that would be very interesting to hear an honest conversation there. But moving on from the Las Vegas Raiders shitting down Josh McDaniel's throat, we have another great quarterback, man. Super Bowl quarterback, MVP quarterback. Who am I talking about right now? Take a guess. Drop a comment. You know what I mean? Drop a comment. Who am I talking about? You're wrong. So, come on now. Oh, that's Cameron Newton.
But how you solidify the number?
What the fuck, dude? All these guys smoke cigars all the time. Like, do cigars do nothing to your lungs? I guess cigars are not supposed to inhale. So I guess if you're an athlete, you puff on it and you just blow out all the smoke and don't ever inhale it, even though you're hotboxing the fuck out of your car right now. I don't know, but this is Cam Newton. He's going to talk about his playing days a little bit while riding around, and you know what I mean, like a little Porsche course, Paramare.
Number one.
I didn't even want number one. Man, Jimmy Clausen, we cool now. Jimbo. He's like,
Jimbo,
shit, if you want it, you gotta pay for it. I was like, cool, how much? He said $1 million.
$1 million.
I said, boy, kiss my ass, bro. I said $1 million, bro. I said, bro, people don't make $1 million in a lifetime.
People don't make $1 million in a lifetime. Okay. You do, motherfucker. You do. Many times over a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make $1 million many times over a year. That's why he was tapping your pockets. How much was it worth now? You're wrong. You made a principled decision and you stood on that.
Let alone, I'm gonna give you $1 million just for a fucking number, bro. So I thought he was playing. The motherfucker comes back and said, okay, bro, I talked to my people. We'll do it for $750,000. I said, oh.
Yeah, brother, before you got crazy, he dropped $250,000 off that first offer. Did he? I don't even. I mean, did he come back and did he say, "Hey, this is best deal"? Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, did you come back? Did you haggle with him a little bit more? You kind of just left it at that. It's a little curious to me, brother. I mean, $50K a year for 20 years is about that. Yeah, this guy right here was the first overall draft pick. Talking about some people don't make $1 million in a lifetime. Motherfucker, we're playing with play money right now. You understand? Also, Jimmy Clausen, whose job Cam Newton was coming to take. You feel me? Like, hello. You know, like, hey, I need that. You're about to take this job that I have right now that's paying me lovely. So I need you to kind of like help me recuperate some of these losses I'm about to take on. Jimmy Clausen was thinking like an Ivy Leaguer. He's not an Ivy Leaguer, private schooler. Notre Dame taught him well, although he did play himself out of a deal. Because I mean, if you could have walked away with $500,000, I can't believe teams don't just say, "Hey, give him the fucking number." Now that I'm thinking about it, you know what I mean? Like so you have Jimmy Clausen, who you drafted in I think the second round a couple years prior. He's your quarterback. He's wearing number 2. Your new quarterback, who you drafted first overall. Just let the baby tell you. Listen, first overall, and then what the fuck do you do with it? You fumble fuck it out the window, and because I mean he I don't know, fumble fuck it out the window from Jimmy Clausen's perspective. Obviously, you were not long for that life in Carolina, and Carolina and teams, I really don't understand why they don't stand on principle and say, "Hey, dude, we know what it is. The writing's on the wall. You're gone." You know, like we're keeping you here as a technicality in case my man, who's fucking goddamn fucking 6'5", 250, fucking was a Heisman winner, national championship winner in the 1 year he started at Auburn. Auburn hasn't won shit since. Like, yeah, we're gonna keep you, who couldn't win shit at Notre Dame, fucking sucked in college. They don't even know why. So yeah, why not just say, we're gonna keep it real with you, brother. We're not gonna let you fucking what's that called? We're not gonna let you extort our starting quarterback here. Hey, Jaden Spade. We're not gonna let you sit here and extort our starting quarterback. We're gonna go ahead and I don't know, just take the number 2 from you. Jimmy's, yeah, no, for sure. Definitely tried to extort him on his way out. But hey, like I said, it's his way out. So you have to have some kind of sympathy for the man. He saw the writing on the wall, and then he saw an opportunity to extort the motherfucker that took his job, I guess. So I mean, you know, but definitely wild. Like I said, does $500,000 not make a difference? You know?
Oh, you for real? I hung that phone up. True story. Hung that phone up. I called the equipment man. I said, I'm rocking with number 1. I made an oath to myself. I said that will be the last time Jimmy Clausen will ever be heard of in Carolina.
But how you started 2? You always had 2?
Jesus. So this was a very interesting video. Very interesting. Because he starts out by saying, "Hey, I got a crazy story. We're cool now, Jimbo." A lot of little boy in this man. And then by the end of it, he says, "I made an oath to myself. No one will ever think of this fucking man again in the state of Carolina, north or south." You know what I mean? Like, come on. Yeah, my man was scoring for sure. Dude, didn't you just kick that guy out of the fucking building? Like, wasn't that enough that you took his job? I don't know. For Cam Newton, never enough. You know what I mean? We may one day see him back in the league. We'll see how that develops. By the way, Paul, let me know. I let the people know that you're supposed to be pulling up at some point. So let me know here because I don't have my phone. So, but yeah, so that is the Cam Newton situation. So he got drafted first overall. They had a previous quarterback, for anybody that doesn't know, Jimmy Clausen, who was dog shit and sucked and was from Notre Dame. Terrible fucking university. And produces shitball quarterbacks since Joe Montana. The Joe Montana curse, I believe they call it. And yeah, so he got drafted by the same team and got to the team and wanted to finesse my guy out of the number, well, out of some money for the number 2 jersey. So then Cam Newton, that's another fucking psychological warfare. Fucking, he's like, okay, you won't give me 2. I'm here to take your job. So obviously now you made me pick the number 1. So now I'm mentally, there's like a mental message that I'm conveying to the fan base, to the coaching staff, which is already, present. Obviously he doesn't have to. He's first overall pick. He was gonna start. He would have had to absolutely shit the bed in order to lose that opportunity, especially to a shithead like Jimmy Clausen. And Jimmy Clausen gets himself, by the way.
My daddy's right.
That's just what it is. Let the baby tell you. She doesn't lie. Shitball. No, that's by the way, I'm glad that got past the censors. There's a lot of times on here, man, I end up seeing all the comments that got put to jail. And they're good stuff. Chloe Hobson, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, we're talking about a little bit of football. We're going to get into some more stuff. The back half is less football oriented and more just like fun random. By the way, this video, they would not let me pull in the big widescreen version. Literally, anytime I try to do that, they try to shut it down. This is like a medical secret. I think they may have got this man's Achilles from, I'm not going to say where they got the Achilles from. Actually, never mind. Epstein Island. But right here, Aaron Rodgers, if y'all can't tell. Let me hear the fucking music. He tore his Achilles, I believe the injury was. He tore his Achilles, and 2 months later, he's standing, walking around already, throwing on it, and just good to go. So, well, not good to go. He still has a little bit of ways of recovery, but to consider where this kind of indicates that we're at from a medical standpoint. I remember the first time, Jade Spades, listen, go kick rocks, hop off the stream if you can. I love football. On this pod, I'm going to talk about football sometimes. Some people come here to watch me talk about football or listen to me talk about football. So listen to it, or don't tune back in, I guess. I don't know. But we won't have you disrespecting football on my watch. Just point blank, period. But either way, so yeah, I remember in my lifetime, like for example, ACL tears, MCL tears, Achilles tears, whatever, ruptures. They typically, like, those are, if not career ending, they're to the point where they're going to have an impact on the career for the rest of it. Much love, I appreciate your support, but Jesus Christ. But no, this was kind of like a death sentence from a career standpoint. And I remember Adrian Peterson coming back from his ACL tear. That's really where it kind of changed everything from a, now, I mean, it didn't, because even then we were at the point, when apparently we can say shit in the comment, by the way. Flu Shiesty said shit earlier. He tested the waters, and he went where no man has ever went before. And but yeah, so Adrian Peterson came back. I remember the conversation then being like, wow, this is incredible. Comeback player of the year. I think if he didn't win MVP that year, which I think he didn't, I think Peyton Manning might have won it. Either way, I know there was like a discussion between him and Peyton Manning, like who would get comeback player and who would get MVP. Either way. But a lot of the discussion around that at the same time was, this is Adrian Peterson. He's a fucking freakazoid. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't even, let me see if I can, just so people know, like I said, because I know some people like Jade Spades, they don't appreciate the art form of football, which that's what we're here to kind of try to help bring people to, and our common interests, also finding an appreciation for others' interests that we may not be, as aware of. Yeah, let's just look at this guy right here. Look, and imagine being this guy's kid, man. Whoo! And the reason I say that is because he did take switches off the tree, and he did get in trouble for whooping his ass with them. Ouch. So I mean, this is a big motherfucker. Damn, I don't know if it'll translate very good, but I'd love to play y'all some fucking highlights of this man. But yeah, monster. Adrian Peterson, torn ACL. He came back, had an MVP season. I think he ran for 2,000 yards. I don't know if it was literally an MVP season, but it was that caliber, and he was in that conversation. I disagree with the style, but I understand. With the style, I don't know what you mean by that. The style of which Adrian Peterson came back. So yeah, you'll have to fill me in on that, brother. But yeah, no, Adrian Peterson. And then from there, we've had several players that have had ACLs for sure. Achilles less common as far as like getting hit with a Achilles injury. That was still kind of like a death nail in the way that at least you're not coming back as the same player. But fuck that. And Adrian Peterson came back as the same player, potentially a better player. And then eventually, he fucking beat his kid's ass with a switch, and things got kind of hot, and he wasn't the same player at that point. That had more of an impact on his career than the Achilles did, or the ACL did, in my opinion. But I mean, hey, at the same time, you got to regulate. If you're not going to regulate, who is? Crazy, man. No, hey, but at the same time, it's cultural, man. You know what I mean? Me and you. So we've had many conversations about other cultures and shit like that. And Jada Spades, you have been the first to point that out. This man didn't do anything but go grab something out of nature that God provides to discipline our children. And he was, what's the word? Lambasted for that? He was treated as an exile, as a bad person, as a bad father? What? Stop. Come on, man. Good guy. Good football player, I'll say that. I'm not sure if he's a nice guy, but he did get his ass knocked out by Le'Veon Bell. One of the saddest football careers to ever be taken from us. JSP, I'm not going to get into it because, you're in here, you're supporting. And if I start getting on the Le'Veon Bell thing, I might start to cry. One of my favorite players to watch ever. So let's see here. What else do we got in here today? Oh, I wanted to talk about the Miami Dolphins a little bit. Miami Dolphins lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a rough game. Our definitely our defense has looked much better, improved. We've been getting a lot of but we've been getting a lot of people coming back slowly over injury. It's been a really, really rough year as far as injuries go. I know for the Miami Dolphins, I'm sure a lot of teams, I'm more locked in there, definitely, but from previous memory, like the players that we have lost have been some of our most important. Xavier Howard now is out. Jalen Ramsey just came back, got hurt in the offseason. Taron Armstead, that motherfucker's hurt every other week, literally. Like, I'm not exaggerating with that shit. We had Jalen Phillips out. Like, these are not little injuries. Not that, everybody matters on the football field, but it's like these are our main players that we like really honestly lean on heavily. And I think that with that being said, I think it's kind of good to see against one of the best offenses in the league that we're able to kind of right that ship and get back on track. Horrible. I can't keep a full team on fantasy. Yeah, no, 100%. But also it helps just checking your fantasy. I'll say that. Check your fantasy, just once a week. Literally once a week. It's on your phone. I know you're on there anyways. So, but we talked about fantasy earlier. We don't got to get too much into it. But Bobby Knight dead. Jesus. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it was a competitive game. Also, there was a lot of other sort of variables that played into it. So I'm not, this might sound like an excuse. I've had this conversation with a few friends offline and even probably on the podcast. So I do believe this. I think that when you have situations and teams are having to really uproot their schedule. Not that that's an excuse to lose. Good teams are going to figure out a way to win those games. But at the same time, to act like they don't have an impact, I think is kind of ignorant and fucking stupid, actually. So, like playing in Germany is what I mean. Like, that's a huge breakup to your normal routine. As the Chiefs, who we played, they're a Super Bowl winning team led by a veteran coach, veteran quarterback, many veterans on the team. Chris Jones, you got Travis Kelce. So with us, I think we have some kind of learning to do. We have some learning to do. There's no other way around that. We got to experience some things. We got to get better through experience. And I think so far we have done that. So far we've definitely done that. But the defense coming into its own over the past 2-3 weeks, I would say. Last week with Jalen Ramsey, I already saw a huge difference. And we don't even have Xavier Howard. He's playing across from young guys. So I think that when we get Xavier Howard back and we're at full strength, we're a really dangerous team. I do worry about Jerome Baker. He's a little small. So sometimes in those and this has been the case for several years, we've had one of the worst run defenses in the fucking league. He just died on November 1st, hothead ass. Probably fucking gave himself an aneurysm throwing a chair or something. I agree with that. And then also like the games that we've lost, they've been competitive still. We haven't really had any. I'm making a grand statement there, so I don't want to. I guess the Eagles kind of held us down a little bit. I will say that. But I honestly never felt like we were completely out of a game. Not by the time of like halftime or anything like that. Defense is looking how we thought they would. Well, and I think that having Jalen Phillips across from Bradley Chubb really brings the best out of Bradley Chubb, and vice versa. I think Bradley Chubb offers him some support there. I do wish that based off just what we're paying Bradley Chubb, we would have seen more. But right now, I really can't argue with the results because he's been having like one of his best seasons since his single double-digit sack season, which I think was 12 sacks. Right now, if I remember right, he has 6, I think. So, that's a good pace to set, and then that's just going to get something that's going to get even more easy to replicate from familiarity in the system, and then also the secondaries just getting, the secondary is getting where it needs to be. Like Xavier Howard, he struggled over the past 2 years where he's had less and less support, I think, and we've had kind of shitty pass rushes. He's had to do a lot. So now us asking him to be the number 2 corner, when I still believe he's capable of being a number 1 corner in a system that supports him, that's really exciting to me. So I really think the main hole for us is linebacker. Honestly, I mean, David Long, he's played well, and I've been really happy with that signing. But Jerome Baker is a player that honestly I've really been fond of for my time, just his time being a Dolphin. But at this point, just how we're playing, I do think he lacks a little in size and honestly in intensity. So let's go ahead and scooch to the next topic, and that is going to be DJ Khaled here. So DJ Khaled is a Palestinian. I think he's a. Let me check here, man. We gotta look up. Let's look up DJ Khaled's dumbass. Present, share screen with you. He's an American? No, but is he born in America, though? New Orleans. Okay. So, yeah, born in New Orleans. So, an American Palestinian, born to Palestinian parents. And they decided to get the fuck up out of there. That was a good call. He's doing pretty good. And he hasn't made a public statement on the conflict between Israel and Palestine currently, during the current onslaught of bombings, and how not even so from there's the incident that happened on October 7th that was perpetrated through Hamas. So no statement there. I don't know if people were expecting the statement because this is a more, I guess, recent thing that I've seen as far as people specifically calling his ass out. But now that the Palestinian people are being bombed, there's, I guess, a little bit more pressure for him to come out and say something in support of his people that are being victimized. So let's go ahead and look at this video real quick that I have for you guys. It's a short one. It's a protest video. If you want to see some more protest videos, go check out our last live. We watched two. We watched a pro-Palestinian protest video, and then I also watched a pro-Israel protest video, and I did that with Juju. It was awesome. We had a nice conversation about the whole thing, and go check that out if you'd like to see more. But here is this.
Why do you want to free Pakistan?
Pakistan? It's Palestine.
Oh, why'd you make the sign?
This man who's a bitch, his name is DJ Khaled, he's Palestinian, and he could be the biggest voice for Palestine if he used his platform, but he stays silent. So
why?
Because he want that money, bro. He want that money. He sold his soul, you know what I'm saying?
We ain't gonna witness the genocide happen in real time. We ain't gonna witness that. Hell no.
We're protesting to end genocide. We have to end this genocide.
What do you want to tell the Palestinians?
You're gonna be free. We're all on your side. The world is fighting together. This is a world issue. It's not just a Palestinian issue, and you will be free. That everyone here knows it.
It's been 2 weeks. We on social media. Y'all think the hype is gonna die out? It ain't gonna die out, baby. It's bigger than the FIFA. It's bigger than the Super Bowl. Bigger than the Super Bowl.
Who said Palestinian blood is any lesser than Israeli blood?
What do you want to tell DJ Khaled?
Turn to your damn people. Speak up for your own people, man. But if you don't, you're a bitch, bro.
What do you want to tell Joe Byron?
That's what I want to tell Joe Biden.
Just fuck you. All right. Well, no love for Joe Biden there at the end. He caught a shot. But yeah, so that was, like I said, real quick video to kind of cover just another protest in general. You know, I don't know. It's tough, man, because like not everybody is politically inclined. I would say in a situation like that where it's obviously the most severe kind of strife that people could be going through, like people being killed in thousands. At that point, I think it's healthy to come out and just make a stance against the violence against them. Like, I mean, once again, if you're not politically if you're not politically activated, like maybe DJ Khaled isn't, maybe DJ Khaled just wants to yell on rap tracks and say he's the best. Like, okay, well, that's fine. Some people can have those kind of aspirations in life. And I think that could be okay. And you don't have to want to, like I said, be really politically active. But with that being said, like I said, this isn't really, nobody's asking you to come out and make a controversial statement by just saying that you support the people that are being killed. So it's like, you know, you don't have to come out and be a really crazy, you know, radical hardliner and be like, hey, you know, we should have the land of Israel, it shouldn't exist, so on and so forth. You don't have to take that stance, as much as I think people at least expect the bare minimum of you as a Palestinian, which they're, you know, are not a ton, especially in the position that he's in, as far as like being culturally influential. Let's see. Oh, by the way, so Jade Spades here says Joe Biden gonna lose to fucking Trump. Yeah, I mean, as long as Trump can stay out of the jail cell, I wonder how all that'll work. But yeah, that's definitely a concern for the Joe Biden fans out there. Tough situation, man. I think that celebs should not grandstand on something that they don't have all the facts on. Excuse me. I think that's fair. I think that's fair, but I think, like I said, like the silence is the issue. Excuse me. It's not like he made which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there would be people that would be shitty if you didn't come out and make a crazy ass strong stance. But people would have that issue, you know, inevitably. But I think that, you know, like just coming out and being against the catastrophic violence that's happening, I think that's really just a bare minimum. You really don't even have to be Palestinian, I think, for that to be like a little bit of a expectation, but especially if you're Palestinian. I mean, I'm not Palestinian. When I hop on here, if I don't talk about the Israel and Palestine conflict, then people are like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? And here, by the way, we got Mr. Paul in the building, so I want to make way for him. Here you go, brother. I think I got it framed up. I sat in both seats earlier to make sure we were good. Yeah, absolutely. No, you're good, man. We're doing this at 6, so at some point I might switch the time up because I'm going to try to do all these live, like I said. So I'm going to try to be more consistent with just lives, being able to interact with you guys. It's been good going back and forth in the comments. And yeah, just so I might change the time just so it's a little bit more plausible for these guys like Paul that work their ass off and then try to make it in here to sit here and talk shit with me.
Sorry.
Well, no, you're all good. What is this, by the way? He brought some food.
Yeah, I brought you a little slider, man. A little double slider. No cheese though, because you know.
All right, brother. Hold on. Don't tell me this is why you're late though. God damn, for sliders.
I got family, man. I gotta make the family dinner.
Hey,
my wife just got off work, and then
I feel that. Oh hell yeah.
She got a little potato in there. It's called a smashed potato.
Okay, yeah. Look, man, let the people know. Yeah, there's some good stuff going on in here, and this is what Israel, this is what Israel and Palestine need. This kind of brotherhood. We'll go ahead and let the people know now that you're in here. Like we're talking about the DJ Khaled, and did you see the video?
I watched the video.
Like fuck DJ Khaled, and I've seen that a lot on social media. I just happened to find the video. I'm like, okay, this on X, I should say Twitter. Fuck X. I guess we're saying Twitter.
It's tough, man. Like
I
just feel like it's tough. Like what a tough situation. Because I mean, oh hey Jade, like if you don't know the situation fully, which I don't know. Again, man, like all social media is giving you. Listen, I don't care if you're pro-Israel or not. Like the things look bad. Like it looks bad. But then again, like it's it's a terrorist organization, so it's like okay, like so it's both sides. So it's like I understand not wanting to grandstand on one like stance without knowing the facts.
Sure.
But being able to just say, hey, listen, for peace. Like just for peace. I wish that this religious
resolution.
And Twitter X. It is stupid. Elon has drug that into the ground, but
that's been why. Oh yeah, definitely. We can talk about that. But this is the first war that I've been able to follow. And I'm sure like maybe with like the Syria bombings and like gassings. I don't know if you remember like 4 or 5 years ago or so, they were basically it was bio warfare against Syria.
And that was Israel and Syria.
No. This was something separate.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as like on Twitter, that was the first time that I really remember being able to like really viscerally experience war from like a firsthand standpoint.
Right.
Like there's times where obviously I think it was Vietnam was the first time that people were able to see war, and the same kind of thing happened. There was this huge pushback because people were finally seeing what it actually entailed. And people were like, dude, get the fuck out of there. They were calling the people, veterans that came back, unfortunately, we're calling them baby killers and all this kind of stuff, because that's what we were actually being exposed to the first time. But go ahead if you have.
That's tough. And I mean, I don't know what people expect war to be. I mean, I mean, listen, trust me, out of all people, I would love for it to be something where it's all just diplomatically ran. You said, but it's not. It's you're trained to kill and you're trained to have that mindset. And I understand, like, I'm not for any of like the bad shit going like, happens. Obviously, I'm all humanitarian, but yeah, I don't know, man. The Vietnam shit was rough. To see that shit, like I said, like you said, the
for the first time
pillaging and all that, like that's sick. It's sinister. Seeing the videos now of guys being stripped, the hands are tied behind their backs, the feet are tied together, they're blindfolded, they're stripped down, they're getting thrown on top of each other, and it's like, okay, so that's happening. So is that Hamas staging it, or is that actually Israel doing it? And it's like,
well, it's tough for us to even say. There's been times that we've seen stuff. I've seen people like streamers and stuff react to it, political streamers, and they'll react to it, and it'll be one. I saw Hassan react to a video game,
right,
thinking it was real. And then I saw also, maybe it wasn't Hassan. But either way, I saw somebody else reacting to something that was supposedly perpetrated by Palestine, but it was actually perpetrated by Israel. And here, I'm going to read these real quick.
Oh, my bad.
Which one? Right here. Okay. I'm going to read you guys' comments real quick, and then we'll hop back into the conversation. Just when I comment on Gates Open Media, I'll comment some shit about some stupid shit they're saying. Go check him out because we love that guy, but go check him out. They'll say some stupid shit. I'll respond to it in the comments. They take too long to get to the comments, so they pull up my comment and they want to say, "What the fuck are you talking about right here?" Well, if you would have pulled it up 20 fucking minutes ago when you were saying stupid shit, then it would have been obvious what I was talking about. What the fuck is he even talking about right here? Okay, well, either way. So Chloe Hobson,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
you know the man, so of course, it's so Chloe Hobson, you said, okay, people wouldn't like him if he said something. So Hakuna Matata. Well, people, I think there would be people that would have an issue with it, but I think like kind of just like in general, it's easy for all of us to kind of look at it kind of sideways. Like, why are you not saying anything? Like I said, the silence is the issue. I think if he made a statement, then we could look at it more nuanced, but truly why completely silent? Everybody is, speaking about this in one way or another. Like, please, he's staying out of the drama. Yeah. I mean, maybe, maybe it's as simple as that. He is one generation from being BB'd himself. No, but that's true. And that's true. That's kind of like an interesting pushback on Chloe's statement where it's like he's staying out of the drama. I understand that. And that's great from his perspective that he has the luxury of doing that. But, there's just not a ton of people who can really speak from a Palestinian experience that are also these like celebrities that have huge audiences and things like that. That's why I don't know. It is interesting. How much of a responsibility is there for a person to really utilize their audience? I don't know. Maybe there's not. Maybe just make money off of them and that's fine. That's the game. That's what you got into it for. Yeah.
I feel like that's fucked, but yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. He is one generation being BB'd himself. Hey, Paul. Hey. Paul said, "Hey, Jade Spades. That sandwich is sad."
Yeah. On that. Okay, listen. They are Publix. Okay, Publix pre-made patties. Okay, and there's little.
Actually, it's pretty good though.
That's why I doubled it. Okay,
it was good.
And they're smashed. Okay, but there's no fresh garlic and there's rosemary, some chives, and some thyme.
I definitely got the garlic. Yeah, which is lovely. Say Twitter. X is stupid. No, I'm with you on that. I corrected it immediately after. I just apologize.
I thought she was saying like just call the whole thing stupid, but I guess okay.
Call
say
it Twitter because X
is stupid.
Yeah, it's like a little way of protesting, I guess. Yes, I remember Syria. Thousands of people called Congress to stop Obama from acting a fool. So okay, Obama. There you go. The whole recline thing. See, that's where you probably said something that made sense, and then now I don't know. Oh, red line thing. Okay, gotcha. Yep. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see if anything comes of it. But now, while trying to stay out of the drama, Chloe, he kind of like brought some own personal drama to himself rather than just being involved in the general conversation. Now he's kind of like isolated in a way because he's been silent.
Do you think it would be good? And do you guys out there, do you think it would be good if Khaled went ahead and the guy has a lot of money. Has he done a fund? Yeah, no, Hamas. Jesus Christ. But just
my guy's right.
just the Palestinian humanitarian fund or anything like that. I mean, is that even going to the right place? I mean, who knows what's going? Again, I don't even know what's truly going on.
No, it's difficult. It is difficult.
It's like where would the aid even go?
Yeah,
and I mean, by what they're saying is you got Hamas hiding amongst the people and all the side. Again.
Well, I mean, but so one thing
I don't want to get too deep. I mean,
well, it's all good, but I think that one thing with that. So there's two things that you said that was interesting. The hiding amongst the people, I agree with, but then I also kind of look at it like, well, what other options are there really? You know what I mean? Now, there's some specifically fucked up scenarios. Supposedly the weapons caches and things like that underneath hospitals, and that is kind of overtly deceitful. That's tough, man, because it is war. But then I want to touch on another thing that you said where you're like, you don't know where the money's going to. That's a great point, because earlier you mentioned hey, this is a terrorist organization, Hamas, stuff like that. But then I don't know if I've talked to you about it, but I've had this conversation so many fucking times that one thing we have to kind of remind ourselves in this situation is that Hamas is the governing body of Gaza. So it's where they are terrorist organization, no pushback there. I agree.
Right? Huh? Or like chosen,
yeah. Well, and put in place by Israel technically, but there's a front-facing public version of Hamas. There's a 1960s version that was basically straight up hey, Jews need to be eradicated. And then in 2017, when they were put into power, they were kind of doing a rebranding. But really, it's very, very difficult. I don't know. That is a situation where I'm not saying that DJ Khaled needs to come out with a solution, obviously. But it's or even necessarily with money. I don't, I mean, just like have fucking something to say. Do you literally have nothing to say on the issue?
Yeah, the fact he said nothing, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, like someone said in the comments, sometimes it's just stay out.
Well, yeah, and that's just, and people, it's tough because I find that I have to check myself all the time because I apply my own thinking to other people.
Right.
And that's just not, people don't think like you. Everybody thinks differently, so on and so forth. And that's been one of the toughest and most valuable lessons I've learned in my life is that if I come to a conclusion on something based off how I think, and I'm applying it to somebody else, I've almost always been wrong, really, to be honest. So it's like, and the reason is because I'm thinking about it my own way. And that's just, yeah. And also to get into it from a ground level standpoint, so trying to find peace. Israel doesn't think like Hamas. Hamas doesn't think like Israel. So it's very difficult, and they have to coexist. In America, I think that's the right way to do it. We're able to do it here, but I understand, like I said, not everybody thinks like us. Not everybody. So in a more general standpoint, not everybody thinks like Americans. There's different cultures, different kind of sensibilities, whatever.
Which again gets into like where we can go on for hours about just the difference in like how religion, just the difference in like what you believe the end all result is, and who that higher being could be, leads to this. It's absurd to me. And I'll never understand it because I can disagree with you all day, but I don't want you dead. But somewhere where they'll argue it's in your text or it's in your text that this and this is supposed to happen because, and it's like, come on, like, and that's where we're at with this.
Well, and as Americans though, I love what you're saying because I agree with you. It's like, and as Americans, we're conditioned to like, not only can you think differently than I do, doesn't mean that necessarily I want you to live how I think now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's cool. Okay, you think differently. You think you're right. I think you're wrong. You're probably not. Probably not.
Comment.
Oh yeah. Which, like I said, that's tough. Gaza is one of the most densely populated places on earth. So yeah, you're gonna have them amongst. And then this is a situation where you have neighboring countries, I guess, technically territories, warring with each other. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, where do you go? Like, that's why when they talk about both sides have broken international law. So Israel's broken international law
big time.
And hold on real quick, because I want to point out what I've seen from some pro-Palestinian people. People have excused based off, again, the people like Hamas, and been like, oh, and don't want to talk about how they've broken international law. Like, oh, they're terrorists. They're terrorists. They're a government, though. So they're held to the standard. That is important. Right. You know what I mean? So when you're now fighting against that government, and they're not abiding by those rules, that's an extremely tough situation to be in. And they live right next door to you. Like that's
Dude, that's crazy.
That's not fucking, bro. That's not even fucking. This is what's so crazy about being in America, bro. That's not Mexico. That's fucking Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's Georgia. That's not Mexico. That's not Canada. That is fucking Georgia.
Right there. Fucking a throw of a fucking rock,
bro. That's that's Georgia, and then also South, because this is kind of, so I'm getting maybe deep into the analogy, but let me just make it more clear. Israel also has a Lebanon north of them with Hezbollah there, who also wants smoke. So it's like they're in a position where it's like, we are literally surrounded by people that hate us and would like us out of here.
Right. And the problem with that is, I mean, I'm against everything that Israel has done that is, killing innocent people. Like that's where it gets, and it's at like, it's a lot. And it's like every time you're supposed to believe that, it wasn't us, or it hit the wrong target, or this happened. So it is a lot, but yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep,
clear,
because we can.
There is an expression called the fog of war, which basically relates to when war is happening, nobody really knows what the fuck is happening. There's espionage. People are there's proxy wars happening. Like, some people think that this war is really America is really waging war, and they're just basically using Israel as a proxy in the Middle East to do this kind of shit, in other places too, but in this case it's
which okay, so kind of like one of the things that like
Well, hold on. Just to kind of finish the fog of war point.
Yeah.
Because the fog of my point being is, and you're making it as far as like being like, hey, I don't want to like, because we don't know the facts. Even when we feel like we do, we thought that fucking Israel had bombed a hospital. Then the next day they're saying that it was Gaza that bombed their own hospital on a malfunction rocket, and it didn't even hit the hospital; it hit the parking lot. And then I heard again that Israel had hit it. It's just
and then the video comes out that shows that it was Hamas.
No, but it was after that. Then after that, they ended up saying that, hey, that was actually the wrong video. They showed you. I'll say that's what I'm saying. It's fog of war. Fog of war. You don't know what's happening. The point blank period part is people are dying. Human life is being lost. Children are dying. You are creating more terrorists. That's a real thing when people say that, like, hey, bomb the shit out of Gaza, get rid of Hamas, but you just created everybody that still lived. Now, if there was doctors there, if there was mechanics there, you made them terrorists because they're like,
dude, yes, and like, listen, man, like I get it, and this is where like I want to tiptoe a line, but just have to say it because there's no other way.
Yeah.
Like, I understand when fear mongering comes, and it's like, oh my god, like there's no other way but to eradicate the situation, and it's like I understand that because I mean, again, like America went through that with after 9/11, which again, I was a child at the time, but like growing up, I mean, I was so against anybody like having like a negative outlook just towards someone just because, oh, that's your religion. And there's these bad people inside of the small group. But
you
it's
didn't
like,
understand the fear that did exist, that maybe
correct.
is irrational, but at the same time is maybe like you kind of understand.
Like you fear. It's just like, okay, like, you know, people want to portray an image. So then they portray an image and it's like, well, why do you judge me based off of my image? And it's like, I do everything I can to not, because I understand.
Sure.
But then people do. So then with this, I understand if you're Israel, dude, and people broke into your country, like it's a home,
broke the borders
and murdered 1,400 people. Which,
by the way, that's against the law, international law.
Yeah, 100%. You cannot do that, right? No. So that is waging a war. So then they respond with war. And then it's like, hey, we got to eradicate this problem any way that you can. But then you're talking about human lives. You're not talking about insects. You're not talking about this infestation of things that aren't human beings. So you have children, you have innocent people who aren't involved in this that maybe had no idea that their brother or cousin or husband or uncle. And again, they don't have a choice.
Yeah, and you're telling these people who are the most densely populated place on earth, I think, but definitely one of. But you're telling them like, hey, we're gonna bomb that place. Get up out of there. Go somewhere. It's like, dude, if they told me they were gonna bomb my house right now, I mean, that would be something I would have to figure out how to afford to get up out of Florida. Where am I going to stay? How long am I going to stay? Like, it's not just a simple suggestion. And I mean, well, and also take into consideration, I think their unemployment rate is something like fucking 60% or something crazy.
Listen, I've been wrong. I've said, and I'll say it was wrong of me, and it's an emotional thing that obviously you can't do, but where it's like, hey man, listen, Putin's such a bad guy, fucking end it. So like warn some people somehow, and then, but it's like you can't just bomb the whole fucking building, right? You can't do shit like that. So
if you know that there's going to be a loss of civilian life, right? And it's like you should try to find a way to avoid that.
So I understand where like Israel was like, hey, listen, we're going to do this, so vacate the city. And I sent in the group where one, I think of the General Secretary of Defense, whoever, was like talking about like, hey, yeah, I know we did a strike. I know it hit people and we're sorry about that, but we did tell them, hey, that area is going to be an active war zone and we're going to do everything we can to win this war. And it's like, okay, I get that. I get, and the means of war, I get that. But it's innocent people. Well, but then where's that line?
And it's not even the most effective way to do that because, like, I mean, from what I've read, you've been killing mostly civilians. Right. Now, once again, the governing body, we have to touch on the important because the governing body is Hamas. So a lot of the reporting that we're hearing is from Hamas. So how much you trust that? I don't, but it's like we have to go off of something. And either way, you know that you're displacing a shit ton of people. Here, I want to get to the comments because we got quite a bit. When you leave no other option, expect the worst. Plus, Israel would probably fit in Florida. So that's a great point. So this is more like us. We fuck Georgia, we'd be going to war with like North Florida type shit.
Goodbye Jacksonville.
Goodbye Jacksonville. We're bombing your ass. Over 4,000 children now. Savage. Yeah, it's crazy. And 36 journalists killed by IDS. CNN can only have journalists embedded with Israel and have footage approved by Israel, or they face not coming back. That is interesting. 1,400 verse 10,000. Yeah, it is too much. Plus, Israel been terrorizing Palestinians for years.
So I wanted to say like, and that's something that like every day that number keeps growing by thousands, and it's like, dude. Well, I guess not every day. It's been going on for a little bit, but it's like that's where it's like harder and harder and harder for me to sit there and be like, hey, listen, man, I know they're terrorists.
Yeah,
you guys got to do what you got to do, but that many people, like, and that's where it's like. I don't want to believe the whole like they want to just basically by eradicate they mean like get the fuck rid of all of them. There's no saving Palestinians. And it's like, hey, yeah, we can't like that's not like that's just not okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the first like it was like a day or two after this happened. I was on a live with Gates Open and he had some people on there and stuff, and we were talking about this, and that was really eye-opening because I was having a conversation. I had kind of been viewed with a lot of people I had conversations with up to that point as pro-Israel, to be honest, because I was like, hey, I understand. Like I viewed it as a terrorist attack right off the bat. I just targeting civilians. Like that's where it even gets different, where you're saying you're not talking about civilians died, but you're saying like we went in there and we targeted people that were no threat to us and killed them and kidnapped them and did just heinous shit. So at that point, a lot of the conversations I was having was honestly like, hey, I understand the need to respond, all that kind of stuff. Go ahead.
I can't understand the kidnapping. Like, yeah, I don't get that. And there have been stories of our military back in the Middle East doing it too. And it's for like dude, I just don't fucking get it. Like what's the purpose? Like I feel like that's outside of the art of war. Like just taking civilians and just having hostages. I understand that there's a weight, like you're going to sit there and try to negotiate, but again, you're fucking with people's lives, and all you're doing is creating more and more target for people to hate you and hate everything that you're doing. Yeah, and then again, like right now, what we're seeing, and I shared it today. We're the enemies because we're doing what we're supposed to with an ally. So then it's like, hey, well, you guys are aiding all this and you're signing up for, and it's like, well, this is kind of what we have to do through treaty, through all this.
It's true, but if it's an inhumane kind of thing that's happening, like I said, at this point, you know that there's going to be a lot of civilian casualties, like either way. I mean, they've defended themselves at this point. What I was saying was when I was having that conversation immediately after, it was eye-opening because the person I was having a conversation with, that I don't know if they consider themselves a Zionist, but they were definitely more pro-Israel than I was. And like I said, at this point, I had been arguing that point. So I ended up on the other side with this guy because there was no sense of proportionate violence. There was or response, I should say. It is violence. I mean, we almost should talk about it like that so we can strip it away. Like response kind of just seems like, like I hit you back. Like, no, this is violence. People are dying at large scales.
And at this point, you can it's basically call it genocide.
It's
getting to that point, and that's it's getting to the point to where it's like, how, as somebody who's trying to see the bad guy did this, so the good guy has to step up. I mean, that number 10,000, you just can't. I mean, there's no excuse for it.
No, I agree, and the point being, I think that's where the conversation has to be had. I understand
what our government does.
No, I'm saying that the ceasefire has to happen. People have to stop dying because you've responded. You've responded in just under basically 9x'd the people you lost, which you shouldn't have lost those people. A lot of those people were innocent. Were not involved in this game. What I was going to say earlier when you said the kidnapping thing, that has existed as far as capturing people from the other military, primarily.
But I'm saying children and women.
But I'm saying that's the point. So then now these people are now leveraging children, and then by the way, Israel is bombing these areas and killing these hostages as well. Like that's another thing to consider. Like, oh, you have our people, well, fuck you, you can't have them either. I guess. But it's just
thousands of generations. That's thousands of families gone.
Yeah, 100%. Here, 1,400 verse over 10K. Yeah. Okay, so I read that one.
I want to ask Jada a question real quick.
Here, just let me read it. You can keep just for just a second. We have problems here. No more money to any of these places. Like I said, I just want to make sure that we know what they're responding to, type stuff. It's the damn Zionists. Let's be real. They started this misery. Go ahead.
Okay, so see, as far as Zionists, isn't that the movement that the Holy Land is to Israel or is to like the Jews only holy land is just to protect that. It's not like a Zionist movement is for the worldwide domination, correct?
It is for them to have an ethno state, like a state of their own. So it's like,
yeah, but they have
that's
their
a
own.
little
I
bit
mean, and that's they have their one spot, and then I guess America after the refugees. But my question to Jaded and anyone that's like against Israel in this, which again I understand at that like 1,000%. Is there any coming back for Israel for you? Is there anything that like let's say they cease fire? I mean, there's no bringing back 10,000 lives. So at what point are you not against Israel? Do you think that okay, like they made their point and it's over?
Is there to overhaul their leadership? I think that's going to.
So at this point, it has to be that they have to.
Their leadership has to go. Well, I mean, so they've been moving. I don't know how much you know about Bibi Netanyahu, but he has instilled basically like a right-wing government because he was on the verge of being out of there. Like the people didn't want him anymore. So he pulled, kind of a Trump. So I mean, honestly, he's compared to Trump a lot for a lot of his policies and stances. But go ahead.
Well, and I see that there's like some people who have like left the military after like seeing all the things that have been going on, and that there are people like that Israelis that are against what's going on. Obviously,
sure.
But yeah, because like I'm asking because like what I don't want and like what always tends to happen is like just like with us in 9/11 and Muslims, it becomes we hate everyone that represents there, right? So it's like just because of a government being whatever you want to say, like going across the line, committing borderline genocide, everybody in that country isn't bad. You know what I mean? Because it's the same argument. Like, okay, like Hamas did what Hamas did, but all the Palestinians are not Hamas.
Yeah.
So it's like, anyways.
Well, I think that it's so Big Baby knows about the damn Zionist. I am not against Israel, but they have to change leadership. It is now full of right-wing, racists. So I mean, no, that's accurate. And I think there's something to be said about that. The conversation as far as like, does Israel have a right to exist has come up quite a bit in this because it is a lot of people consider it an occupation of the area, which I mean, in a way it is. You can definitely look at it like that.
Again, this is where religion comes in because it all comes down to who you believe.
Well, but the thing,
right?
Well, I don't know. Really, this is Britain that gave.
Oh yeah, true. The 1917 or the 40s?
40s. And then there was like expansions in different directions and stuff like that. But so displacement, a huge displacement of Palestinians. So that's definitely real. So I see that, but at a certain point, I think in order for us to move forward as just a modern society, we can't just keep on going back to the past and trying to like right those wrongs by erasing the present. Like Israel is a place people have lived there. To treat the people that have lived there now for 80 years as settlers, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think we have to take what our situation is today and we need to try to improve upon it, make it better for the Palestinians 100%. I think a lot of now's not really the time to talk about it because we're in the middle of war, but I mean, definitely, between the 2-state to 1-state solution is a lot of what gets talked about. Does all of Palestine need to become, basically a place where the Palestinians can move freely and have some kind of like, citizenship to it, and then also the Jews would be expected to also have that same right to the land, or do they split it up to make a Palestine and then keep whatever is Israel as Israel? I don't know, man. That's really difficult. It's tough I think that's the conversation that needs to have at some point, but it's tough to even be talking about that when we're bombing.
So if you're America, if you're Biden, what do you do? Stop aid?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think
would that have to go through the UN first?
I mean, for me, Biden is not powerless, though, and I don't think you're saying that.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Biden's not powerless, so he is helping an ally. I agree with you. That makes total sense. There's just a certain amount of loyalty there. Israel has been beneficial to us, and there's, I'm sure, tons of shit about our partnership with Israel that we don't even know about that's beneficial to us in whatever way, strategically. So I don't think, but this is my thing. I don't think he's powerless, and I think that he should be trying to guide this situation as a leader, as you know, like when I was younger, I really hated this kind of stuff, to be honest. Like, I mean, I do hate it, but I'm saying what I mean as far as like American involvement. When I was younger, I really fucking hated it. And I was like, why are we doing that? Focused on this, focused on
Big
that.
brother, baby.
World police. Why are we trying to be the world police? Blah, blah, blah. But like when you see things like this happen, I think it's hard for me as an American to sit here and enjoy what I know my reality to be and think that there are people who are the same species as I am. And that's their reality. They're like waiting in their house and be like, well, fucking hopefully we don't get bombed today. Or they live in a state where it doesn't jive with their religion. So therefore they have to practice it in private or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
it makes me cry.
Yeah. These kind of things. And I've talked to Jaded about this on some other streams and stuff where it makes me sound like I'm kind of moving in that direction. I'm conscious of it. Yeah. Where it's like, you know, where
is it the best way of life?
That's where it's like, but then I understand.
That's fucked up.
I say that it's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
I know what's best.
Exactly. That's why it's like, it's crazy. I don't know.
That's what I've always said about our involvement over there is we can't go to somewhere that's been doing the same thing for thousands of years. Like, hey, we're the country that's 200 and something years old. Listen to what we say and do what we tell you to do.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, like, yeah. Can we force a regime change in Israel? That's basically the root of my question is, what do we do now as America? Because we see that, hey, the president, it's a president, right?
Where
for Israel?
Yeah.
So their president is obviously bad, doing bad things. So we need to get a regime change. We can't aid this without breaking what we've already have signed us treaties and all this. What can we do without waging war on an ally? Because how else do you get a regime change? Well, so then that's where it's like, is it playing into propaganda for another side that's obviously aiding them, being
interesting?
Russia, Iran, China, who've been working together with Saudi to make current. So
well, they've been trying to push back against the Saudi alliance with America.
Okay, so
and Israel. So they are trying to normalize relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And that a lot of I don't know if you'd say conspiracy. I guess it's tough because it's not, these things aren't like facts right now, but a lot of what people are speculating about with Iran is that they're backing this move to try to keep Saudi and Israel from having that kind of normalized relationship.
So,
and you see Saudi Arabia is like, that's like fucking America. It's not America, but I'm saying like, as far as like the amount of like entertainment and stuff like that and kind of like cross, I don't know, like integration with America that we see with Saudi. Like UFC has events in Saudi Arabia all the time that we watch. Boxing match between Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury, which neither of them are Americans. I know neither of them were born in America, but I'm pretty sure they live here. And then what was the other one? Oh, WWE. I just watched a fucking pay-per-view from WWE that was in Saudi Arabia. So it's like there's a lot of, that was not something I remember growing up, that we were watching sporting events in Saudi Arabia. Oh, it is, you know, weird.
It's very fishy with, again, all the bidding that's gone on, and then the backdoor deals that people have had with Saudis for decades here in this country, the war that happened over there, the attack on 9/11, funded by Saudis. I mean, it's all that doesn't sit well with me.
Sure.
I get where they're like, oh, well, we're bringing business over there. Well, they have the richest city in the world, but one of the highest poverty rates in the world. And it's like, because there are certain people who just get all the money and they collect it. So then all this money is going to the people who are running the world and using it as their sandbox. So I don't know how to, and that's what I'm saying. All this conflicts everything in every way. To where me personally, I just sit there like, I don't know. I just want to be the good person and not know what to say. But I just want world peace. No, America, do the right thing.
It's a conversation. I think
fighting the world's watching.
I think you have a good. That's the same kind of, I guess, sensibilities that he should have. Where it's like, nobody should be coming to the table thinking that they know the resolution, because there has to be give and take in these kind of negotiations. So you have to be open to your solution not being the ultimate solution.
Right.
Let's just get into some of these comments real quick. So I'm starting to think that a one-state solution is the only solution. Palestinians deserve equal rights, voting, full citizenship, etc. 1948 was the Balfour Declaration.
Yeah.
And then we got the Messiah isn't coming. Sorry. Oh man.
Again, we get a war over that too.
We'll see. I mean, you might feel silly making that comment. The Balfour was in 1917. Israel established in the late 40s. I hate U.S. involvement too. Unfortunately, at this point, the U.S. is enabling this. It is so sad. And did you want to say?
So, are we saying that we're enabling it because of the funding? But aren't we funding both? We're funding the humanitarian aid for Palestinians, and then we're funding the base of the military aid for Israel, which again,
and we're using our influence in that instance because we're initially, I don't believe Israel was allowing humanitarian donations.
That right there's just a red flag already. If you tell me like, hey, don't fucking help them,
brother. There's a lot of red flags before that. Yeah, there's been a lot of red flags. But I mean, it doesn't. My thing is I feel like we get away from the fact that for sure, there's no debate that what happened on October the 7th was a terrorist act. So it's like once we start to get into the nuts and bolts, we're like, oh well, this happened then, this happened that. That's great to have that conversation, but immediately after in the response, I just think it's in poor taste. It's like, hello,
exactly. What's the point?
Yeah, so it's like at this point now that we've gotten, because Israel has had a disproportionate response at this point, I think at this point, then yeah, this is the time for the conversation. But a lot of what grossed me out and still grosses me out because it makes me sad that an act like this might actually bring about, I don't want to say good change, but might bring about some change. So then it teaches people in a way like, hey, if you are voiceless and this violence and things like that is the voice of the voiceless or whatever the fuck they say. This is something different than that. If there was an attack on a military base on October 7th, and there was on top of the citizens, honestly, I would have probably had almost no issue with it. I'll be honest. That might sound cold-blooded. Troops are very important. I respect them, all that. But like Omar said in The Wire, you're a part of the game. That's what it is. You're a part of this war game.
Listen, it's sad. Sign up for that is one of the saddest things.
100%. I'm not trying to be.
You know what? But that's why you get there's no glory for it. But that's why you get the respect. That's why you get the admiration, appreciation, because you're doing something that I didn't sign up to do. Yeah, that
potentially sacrificing your life for others. Like that's incredible.
It's incredible and it's honorable. Yeah. But yeah, what you're going in for.
Yeah. So I mean, and if Hamas would have attacked those people, then I don't know how I would have felt because that's a completely different situation. I probably would have still been like saddened by that, but I would have understood that it was a military decision. I mean, you're declaring war in a way. I understand war is a thing that happens that's detestable and that shouldn't happen. But then now you have Israel who has responded to that, and they have killed a shit ton of people. So it's like, okay, let's take our foot off the gas. Let's take our foot off the gas a little bit. You feel me? Let's have a ceasefire, and let's try to put people in place that have the best interest of the people in mind and the world in mind. And this is another thing that I hate, because when shit like this happens, I also start to sound like a fucking globalist George Soros motherfucker.
But listen, let's talk about that real quick. Well, hold on, we got so many comments. But
remember George Soros, because that should be easy to get back into whatever you're thinking. Since they have parliamentary system, they have a president, head of state, and a prime minister, head of government. Okay, very good to know. Thank you for that. And
Jada, thank you for all the knowledge.
Well, she's fire, or he. They're not directly elected, but you already know. You already know if there's this much going on, it's got to be a lady. Just saying, they're not directly elected by the people. Both president and prime minister are right-wing extremists. You already know I said it. Yes, we sent billions adjusting for inflation. U.S. aid to Israel from 1951 to 2022 totaled $317.9 billion.
God damn.
Making it the largest recipient of American foreign aid since World War II. Oh, what happened in World War II? I'm kidding. But genuinely, what happened in World War II? Think about that. It might be part of the reason they got it.
A lot, right?
We're setting up a state, basically helping
Rebuild.
stabilize the state in a either way. Israel has universal health care and no college debt for students. By the way, I'm about to fucking move there and risk it.
Bro, when I saw that pop up, I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
I'm about to risk it. Move my ass to Israel. I'll risk a fucking couple of bombs getting dropped on me to get a free college education and get my fucking health right.
Bro, what's crazy is have you been one of the people that have always said like, oh man, Israel's in the middle of like every country that hates him has never been like, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, how ignorant were we?
It's a tough spot to be in. Israel life expectancy 82.7 years. U.S. life expectancy 77.28. What's good, Birdman? Shout out to you, brother. Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. How do you feel about by the way, how do you feel about Israel and Palestine? That's what we're in on, man. You gotta let us know. And then WW2 Holocaust. No, I know I was kidding, but yeah, that was my point by bringing that up when you brought up the aid. From that point on, it's like, that was one of the states because it was being established and one of the people that were in the most need. But I'm sure that didn't come with like the more I learn about these kind of things, the more I'm like, I'm sure that didn't come without any strings attached. To say the least. Honestly, with this, I won't loan $20 to a motherfucker without strings attached. That's me though. Honestly, with this whole Israel Palestine stuff, I just hope they both have a good time. Hey, me too, man. Are we good again?
7% out there.
No, it's all good. Well,
are we back?
No, I think we might be frozen. Hey, let us know if we're not back because I'm on several platforms, so I might be on back. I might be good on some and not on others. Yo, let us know. We're checking in. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, back. Beautiful. They tried to shut us down. They tried to shut us yesterday or whenever it was, Saturday when I was doing live.
I saw that.
Bro, what the fuck was that?
Bro, we can't get that topic. They're like,
no. Literally, once we start cooking and I tell them to cut the shit out and they cut me off. What the fuck was that? You're good now. All right. So, but you want to talk about globalists? We're back in here. We're back vibing. So, what's your opinion on George Soros? And I was saying just to kind of jog the memory of the audience, anybody that wasn't here, it's when we start to have these conversations and we're like, hey, fucking cut it out, stop the bullshit, and you're seeing people of, like I said, the same species as you living in
a bad life,
crazy. It does make you kind of start to sound like a little bit of a globalist, even though that's another thing that I've been very resistant to up until this point. But it's like, go ahead.
But no, I think about it, and we've talked about it so many times on here, like when we've debated like immigration or anything. Like I always bring up because like we're born on this side of an imaginary line. I understand the line has been drawn on a map, but in real life it does not exist, right? So I always find myself thinking about like my son and the life that he is allowed to live. Like, yes, we have our fears about childhood cancer, getting hit by a car, or you're going to get abducted, but it's not as prevalent as a lot of the issues that other countries and other people have to worry about with their children and just making it to see adulthood.
Yeah.
So, and I think about like how other kids like really have to go through that. And it makes you think like, damn, what if we all like just did have like one government that really just cared about everybody?
Yeah, but what if they didn't?
And that's the other side is like, but then if they didn't, man, we'd all be really fucked. So it's like yeah, that utopia sounds really good, especially when you're high. But then in practice, it's not going to work. Like, so it's kind of like
to die.
So it's like, what do we do? Because as America, we do have an obligation as a superpower.
Sure.
We do to help the world. Okay, and so, but where does it go too far? Where have you done too little? Is there ever enough?
Yeah, and when do you begin to impose? Because
exactly,
as citizens, we believe in democracy. Supposedly we believe in democracy and want to bring that to other people so they have a voice that can be heard. That would be the mission statement at least. But like I said, even in our situation where it's not a world ran government, we have questions about our own goddamn government. Definitely.
Are they bloodthirsty reptiles?
Yeah,
maybe. Who knows? Is the middle of the earth a home base for aliens?
David Icke wasn't David. I think he was like a soccer commentator or something like that, and he just went crazy.
Just went off.
Oh well, this
was it on air? Or is it like off air?
Oh yeah, this is on air. Oh yeah, he started talking about blood-sucking reptiles, and they're actually in charge of the world. And
you know what? At this point,
he could be right.
Who knows?
Yeah, really, who fucking knows?
Maybe, motherfucker.
Yeah, that would actually make more sense. It would make
probably
it would actually make more sense, and then maybe be more understandable that they could not give a fuck about human life. But let's get into let's see here. Which one did we? Oh, you know what? I got you here. Let's definitely talk about this one. I was holding back in case you ended up making it, because I wanted to get your opinion on it. It says we have our own garden to tend now. Insane Trump could beat Biden because he was we a mess.
I just really disagree with this. Like I understand that polls come out. Have any of you ever taken a poll? Like, have you taken a poll that they talk about? Like, I've never seen a poll. I've never taken a poll. So I don't know.
Well, do you think they're just coming up with the numbers? Somebody's being polled, or do you think really nobody's being polled?
I think that they have a selective group that they poll, and then they pull from that group. Like, obviously they get the numbers. Because I mean, again, like who's answering the poll? Is it on X and X website, and then they got 1,800 votes, and then they say, oh well, 42% go this way, and then 58%. Like, come on, like so I don't know. I can say that there are like local elections going on, and you can see in a lot of red states where there are blue mayors being elected, there are governors coming up in red states that haven't won in 20, 30 years, a Democrat, that are now leading in those polls. So who knows?
Well, and
early.
A lot of the polls account for that though, because they won't be like 100% polls. It'll be a situation where it's like they do like 30% says this person, and then the other 30% says this person. The rest of the people weren't polled type deal. So it's like in at least a lot of the polls that I look at. So you know, I agree with you. Not everybody's voice is being heard in that, and I took one poll. But I was at work on a landline.
So they're calling landlines, and it's all old people. I ain't
talking to random ass people. Yeah, so I mean that's facts, but I would just say that you could use polls as one example, but let's even make it a little bit more anecdotal and go from your own kind of like personal experience. Even people that, and I'll speak to my own, and I want to hear yours. Even people that I would consider liberal are wishy-washy on Joe Biden a lot of the time. Yes. There are Trump supporters and most conservatives that I know that are, you know, now they would be considered conservatives or whatever the fuck, I guess MAGA people. Most of the people that I know that are politically activated as Republicans now today support Trump. Don't have an issue with him. Think overall he's better than Biden. Definitely think he's better than Biden. You know, even people, we live in Florida, even people that I know that support DeSantis, once it became a decision between DeSantis and Trump, they were like, fuck DeSantis. Bailed. Yeah, bailed on DeSantis, said, fuck him. He's an idiot, 100%. Never believed anything he ever said. So I think that the Trump cult of personality is real. And I've been learning a little bit about Joseph Stalin, to be honest. And there was this kind of like fervor around him as well, where people were just bought in. People really liked him regardless of what they were seeing, to be honest. In that case, you know, that was some crazy shit between like you know, Bolsheviks and stuff like that, and like they were doing wild shit, killing people 100%, assassinating people. And that's a little bit harder to do nowadays, I guess, because
if you make people an enemy enough, if you make them an enemy enough, and you make them, you know, people fear them enough, then you're going to have people that are going to justify it. And that's kind of like when he said this whole, I could kill somebody on Fifth Avenue and still win the election. And it's like, well, that's a bold thing to say publicly.
Yeah.
And it's still like, not bad. People, oh, he's joking. It's like, yeah, but he's basically telling you.
Yeah, but he's joking.
No matter what
he's joking about a real thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's funny because how the ridiculous example that he used, but it's, he's making the joke because it's based in truth.
But like, I think both sides. So I think that, from my experience from going into so many homes every day and talking to people, I've seen a lot of people who say that it's too far, that it's way too far, and that it's not realistic. Him and DeSantis both. And then you see on the left where you got people who are tired of the inaction of the left. And it's like, so I think both sides are kind of losing. I think it's going to be interesting to see like the RFK Jr. Does he actually make a presidential bid when it finally goes? how much he gets, because there's a lot of people who don't want either side, and they're going to go for that.
He is running as an independent.
Right.
I don't think that he won't be on every ballot even. And that's why our system, as much as it's a democracy, quote unquote, it's fucked up. Because it's
No, what I was going to say is the left. Listen, I think if you look at the track record of what Biden's done, if you really look at it and you lay it out on the table, it's not nearly as bad as people say it is. I think that when it comes to the economic situation, it's worldwide right now. And there's a lot going on. And really, when you look on a worldwide scale, we haven't had it the worst. So
I think that this one issue that I think that Biden runs into, though, is I think that people that are liberal are a little bit more. Oh, by the way, it's actually. Let's just touch on this. Revolutions aren't pretty. I think they're a little bit more revolutionary minded. Like they are open to like the system being changed and think that it needs to be. Like in my case, honestly, I believe that.
Agreed. We've
So
been
it's
saying
like,
that for a while.
Yeah. So I think that where a lot of conservatives are more interested in either the status quo, keeping it as it is, or just dialing whatever the fuck government is to you, they want to dial it back more and more and more. That's what it is to be conservative. So I think when you run into that, there is something about Biden that is just not inspiring
It's
from
not
a revolution
inspiring.
standpoint.
I agree.
It doesn't feel like there's much change, and everything is like a handled like from a you could say diplomatic, but also kind of like bureaucratic standpoint, where it's like things just get caught in these cogs, and he's doing it the right way. That's the thing. He is a politician. But how Trump has inspired people is he's played outside of that game while also appeasing the people of that game. Like I said, I'm not a Trump fan personally, so I think that go ahead.
But what I'm saying, like what kills me on that is like, yeah, everybody and even the right, they're starting. Well, first of all, when we talk about big government, like they want less government, they kind of contradict themselves with the DeSantis plea and then the Trump, because the bans on people, the bans on actions, some of the things, it's not small government, it's actually big government. It's invasive to my home.
Those are times though that those people are they're more authoritarian,
right?
And then also they're taking advantage of. You're seeing kind of like, I think the left, liberals, they were more playing into identity politics a little bit more. But I think that there's a slight advantage to that. So I think we're seeing like the Trumps and the DeSantises. Those are just the conservative remix, really. You know, like they're conservative. Like I said, I don't want to say revolutionaries, but they try to be outliers, and when they're trying to put forth these like kind of like controls to keep people out or whatever, that is in line with the sensibilities of a lot of their base, which they're building based off of like no bullshit / racist rhetoric a lot of the time. But I mean, they paint it as like, oh, I just say whatever needs to be said. Well, okay, you know.
Yeah, but like two things on that. Like I feel like the left, like once we got on the identity politics, and we understood where all the chips fall in that, you can't keep it's like the Second Amendment. You can't just keep pounding and pounding and pounding, because there are people who they're not going to want to just hear it over and over and over again. Like it's going to become too much and nauseating to them. But the second thing with Trump is the right. The more people I talk to, like everyday people, everyone is in agreement that the top 1% is the true problem in this country, that everybody knows that they make too much. But what's ironic to me is that the right and the people that I know who have always been against the man and like the suits, yes, sir, thank you, are so for the most like iconic one of them. And the one who boasts, I am 1%.
Motherfucker has a gold building, for God's sake.
So it's like,
Come
dude,
on.
he is the
How
problem.
the fuck did that happen?
I just wish that people would identify that, and instead of saying like, hey, well, he says the things I like to hear, understand that him as a person is not for you. Like he would never stop for you. Like that guy has never been. But anyways, that's opinion.
Sure.
But I feel like it's kind of shit. Like I don't know if, like I've said, like an argument here, I feel like on the left, it's more, here's the principle, here's what like the core belief is, we stand on it. And on the right, it's almost like, well, this is what I like, and I'm just going to kind of like go with whatever they go, like wherever that river flows. And I don't want to insult anybody with that, but it's just like kind of like how I see it.
Well, I know, but I think that's where we kind of like other one another in a way, and then don't see kind of like I mean, because there's plenty of that on the left as well.
Oh, of
where like
course.
people are just like, hey, you
You're
can't
right.
say anything about like anything critical of like trans stuff, for example. Like you can't like now I was on Saturday I was reacting to one of those Jubilee videos that got taken down. Maybe this is why. But it was we were watching a video where it was about transitioning kids,
Okay.
I think, and then there's like TERFs and SERFs. So these are different types of feminists that are TERFs was trans exclusionary feminist, which all the liberals that were this was actually the feminist video. All the feminists that were there, all the liberals were like basically fucking, if you believe that, that's fucking disgusting. That's not even feminism. I'm like, well, why can't there be a diversity of thought? People that believe something different, and they even can be wrong, maybe like straight up objectively. Maybe they're objectively wrong on the issue. Right. But it's like allow there to be a conversation.
You know what? Thank you for correcting me.
About Oh yeah, no, 100%,
that's why. See, this is why conversation is so important.
Yeah. I think for sure we can get caught up in. I think I talked about this in the chat, but I did start to kind of realize that a lot of the shit that I was getting pushed was shit that I was automatically agreeing with, and that wasn't usually what I would do. Like usually, like I listen to Joe Rogan and shit, who a lot of people think of as conservative, and I don't agree with a lot of shit he says. I like to be introduced to people that are like, I remember growing up listening to like fucking what the fuck's the guy who founded Vice? Gavin McInnes. Wild. Founded the Proud Boys, actually. So you know him from that.
Crazy.
Crazy as fuck. Would say
Not
the wildest
lunatic,
shit.
I'm just saying.
No, he was
like,
fucking wild, and he says wild shit on the internet, and that's like it's his thing. And, you know, are you familiar with him?
No, I've seen shit. Yeah.
Oh, seen shit from. Okay, so yeah, but I actually like to hear some of his points because some of it is actually kind of there's some wisdom in some of it, but then the general kind of like his general values are not aligned with mine. So I like to see where the people that land in those other kind of spectrums, where their thinking comes from. Because like I said, it's really, and it's also really easy to think like, oh, hey, we're both people. You must be thinking, you see something on TV, you must be digesting it the exact same way.
That's always something that I love to like think about is like who do you I mean, I've asked this. Who do you identify with in this show? Because like each person identifies with somebody else, and it's like
if you talk to them as different people,
dude, throwaway character.
But then you'll be like,
are people who are sometimes the throwaway character are people's like the biggest cult following.
Like, have you watched Naruto? This is a good example of that.
I've not been into.
Okay, it's all good. Well, I have a good example of that. Okay,
sorry,
so obviously Naruto is about the main character's name is Naruto. Right. So going into that, you would probably expect everybody would love Naruto, but when you talk about Naruto with people, I almost always get a different character that I would have never thought. Like mine was Gaara. That was my favorite character in fucking Naruto. When I would talk to people, I would assume like, oh, they must love Naruto or maybe Gaara. Fuck no. Maybe like Neji.
Who is your Rugrat?
Oh man, that's a good question.
I mean, Tommy Pickles all the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's tough, man. I loved all those guys, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
all the.
You have to pick one. Gun to the head.
I'm saying,
you gotta pick one.
I loved all the dudes. I'm not gonna lie. I related to all.
Phil,
because Lil, I'm thinking, I'm like, did I really fuck with Lil like that? Not really. So damn.
Angelica, she's a bitch.
Yeah, she was. But I did like her. She was funny. So but yeah,
I love the dad. I wanted to be just like that Phil, right? No,
what was it?
What's Stu and Drew?
Stu and Drew. You nailed it. Yeah.
Wait, no. Which one's Tommy's dad? Is it Stu?
Well, dude, Stu and Drew. Is it Stu and Drew? That's not the.
Tommy's dad is one, and then Angelica's dad is the other. I think Stu is the funny one, and Drew's like the more stuck up. So yeah, Angelica's dad was Drew, right? Does anybody know this?
I'm gonna say
I need you here.
I'm gonna say Stu was. I think it was Stu was Tommy's dad. To be honest, there's a margin of error. So we're way fucking past. This is what I'm saying now. I'm like Gates Open Media. What the fuck are they talking about? Margin of error? What does that mean? There's a margin of error. Is based on statistics. So polls are a way to determine a rough idea of what the general population thinks. Most lefties are not enthusiastic about Biden anyways. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I honestly think that's going to be the big difference. But one thing I think we might be getting set up for a bullshit race right now, and the reason I say that is because is Trump even going to be there? I'm not like super confident that by the time we're selecting president, he's gonna not have one of his fucking 100 cases squared away at that point.
Whoever wins is rigged anyways, right?
Yeah, I guess. That's a good point. He's gonna pardon himself fucking immediately. Revolutions are not pretty. That's fair. It is still the bourgeoisie trying to subjugate the proletariat. That is why union action is popping up and the rich have pushed it too far. So
I would've said
proletariat.
burger voice.
Proletariat, by the way, that is like working people, people who like sell their labor. And then bourgeoisie is the owner class, so people that own businesses and shit like that. Do you guys think that Biden 2 wars is going to push people to Trump? I personally don't think so, because I think that's a little bit of a, I think we could talk about the wars with Biden, but the talk of like Trump didn't get us in any wars, I really hate that. That is a bullshit talking point, in my opinion. We were in the biggest war like in our lifetime at that point. We were already in it. So he didn't have another war to get us in. He had an active war to fight. And he was participating in that and did not pull us out of Afghanistan. Biden did when he became president. So, I just think I'm not confident that if Trump became president again with these wars going on, that he would manage them appropriately.
I think we would have still been in the Ukraine-Russia war. We would just been on the other side.
Taking that bitch over.
That's the thing. I don't look at them as Biden's wars. I mean, we weren't doing anything with you. I mean, okay, there's the backstory about them trying to get into the UN, all that. But at the end of the day, Russia invaded Ukraine.
NATO.
Yeah, that's what I meant, NATO. But at the end of the day, Russia invaded Ukraine, not the other way around. So that's where I don't buy into the whole it's Biden's money laundering and all that, because if it was that Ukraine started a war so that way we can funnel money, oh, okay, I can see that reach. But again, that's why the fuck would you have, if you were to do that, why would you choose Ukraine and Russia as your whole big ploy there? But and then as far as this, again, I don't look at it as Biden's war. I look at it as he's the president of a country whose ally is at war. So he has to act a certain way. And I think that he did the best thing that you can when you look at trying to split it in the middle by going humanitarian to Palestinians and the aid. I think that with Ukraine, us giving the military funding without sending any troops over and no American lives are being lost, I feel like that's the best way you can handle that.
Yeah.
So I think that he's handled both. I won't say A's, but I think decently well. I do think that us getting out of Afghanistan and Iraq was botched. It wasn't his plan that was executed, but it just because the plan was shit before you executed it doesn't mean that you had to execute that plan.
That was obviously
and then just rush it. So
that was gonna be fucked up regardless, and that's something that we're not used to seeing either.
Yeah,
that's on top of not seeing war a lot. We also don't see countries leave like that. One of the things that he failed there's a lot of American allies, not Americans, but people who were allied with America that we left behind,
just left.
So yeah, that's tough. But then we would have had, I'm sure, a lot of people in this country. They're like, why the fuck are we taking in all these people that were fucking risking their lives and helping us?
We don't want no refugees.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing here? Dude, they've done more for this country than you have ever, brother. You've only taken. Yeah, I don't know, man. I agree with you. I think that one, I don't know how much just Trump's presence. I don't put a lot of stock into that. A lot of these kind of like tensions with Israel were actually heating up around Trump's time in office, and Trump. This is not A to B. I'm not drawing a line A to B, but I'm just saying like a lot of Bibi Netanyahu being very what's the word I'm looking for? Not encouraged, but empowered, I guess, to make some of the moves that he's been making recently and just moves in his government. A lot of that is based off of their direct ally being America, in my opinion, and how we were acting at the time. I think there's a lot that goes to that. And also Trump not only made this kind of like political theater popular in America, but he also had an effect on countries all over the world. There's a lot of a lot of countries that have somebody in power that's referred to as basically like the Venezuelan Trump and so on and so forth, that have like this populist kind of movement popping up at this time. So I think that there's a lot of dangerous things that came with Trump. And also don't forget that when Trump was president, we were, and I'm not even talking about COVID. That had a huge impact on this. And I guess I don't want to take it out of I don't want to remove that context, but from a societal standpoint, I have never, ever, ever in my life lived in such a pressure cooker of a society based off like racial tensions in my life. In my life, I've had the wonderful benefit of being able to live in a generally not post-racism America, but
It felt that way.
it wasn't how it was. You know what I mean? Like what you had heard about, there was a stark difference from where we had come from at this point. At that time, I mean, it was fucking vicious from both sides. I had seen ugliness from both sides. I've seen racism creep up with white people that I had not really seen I guess emblazoned previously over the past 20 years. And then the other side, like a sort of recoiling of a lot of black communities where it was like wanting to be more insulated because of probably like some kind of maybe insecurity with Trump as president. Yeah, response. So I don't know. That's an interesting conversation I think to have, but there was definitely like more of that. And then that's when you had BLM riots and all that kind of shit happened. So like instability in America was like domestically was happening with Trump in office. I don't think we should get too far away from that and forget that.
What's crazy to me is that like it all really started after Brock won, and it wasn't like it was, man, the moment he won, oh, he only won because black people actually voted. And it's like, what? It's like already the narrative became just, again, him not being an American citizen, all this. So you had that. Then you had, like you said, Trump came into office, and he was the one that pushed the birther theory before when Obama was president. And then he comes into office, and dude, the tensions, like I saw a lot just from my background, which I've gone on to here, and I won't bother, smooth recoil with going back into my family background.
Stop talking about your family.
But very diverse. Okay. So growing up, you see a lot. So, but at the end of the day,
well, I mean, and having those intimate conversations and being able to honestly see that perspective.
Yeah. And being here in the town that's 96 and at the time, like 97% white, like, and in the South, there's a lot of perspectives that thrown your way, and you see like, okay, so I saw a lot or some racism, but at the end of the day, after learning through history, I really felt like, oh wow, man, like that's all in the past. We're in a great spot. It's only going to get better. We keep working forward.
Well, that part,
we're going to get to this utopia.
It's only going to get better.
Right.
Just that alone. Like, think about that statement. And that is not true.
And it got worse. Yeah. And it's like, and now it's at a point to where, dude, there's a post on Instagram that was about how there's black banks. It's not the Tulsa, but it was the bank crisis of like 1847 or something.
Okay.
And a lot of banks lost a lot of money. And the thing is, there wasn't FDIC. So when banks closed, like there was no way to get that money. Yeah. And there were black banks that closed. So there was someone who commented trying to say, hey, listen, I don't think that was race driven. I think that was just this. And then immediately, oh, well, that must be racist because that commenter was white.
That's racist.
And it's like what? And it's like, so, and then I commented like, hey, I think we got off topic here. And then they're, oh, you're racist too. And it's like, whoa. And it's like, okay. So it's like, you're getting to a point where, and like, I've been guilty of that too. Of like jumping to a conclusion, but it's like, it kind of has gotten there. And like you said, that discourse wasn't there before Trump, and the dog whistling and the gaslighting and the constant, just dude, the things he would say, and just the narratives that would be pushed, the ways that he wanted to denounce the Proud Boys being at the rally. Yeah. The way it was, well, there are good guys on both sides. And well, people died.
I don't think that there was definitely he caused division. And even if I'm being charitable and saying that wasn't on purpose, which I think it was, but let's just be charitable and say that he didn't cause division on purpose. There was a total, like a conscious effort to not try to bring the country together, in my opinion. So like I said, even if that wasn't based on intentionally wanting to cause division, and it was just like hey, I'm not gonna get involved in that because whatever, I don't want to, I have more important things to deal with, whatever. As a president, that was the worst. That was extremely disappointing to see that. Like, it was so apparent as a citizen, not involved in government, to see the division in America based off racial lines, based off of class lines. Like, it was, people were at each other's throats in a lot of ways. And for him not to try to quell that, and in a lot of times only try to throw gasoline on it, in my opinion, I'm not comfortable having that person in charge. And then also, when we get past that, Jaden, I don't know if you're still here, but some of the ways that he tried to, or at least kind considered trying to go around the Constitution and try to keep himself in power, that kind of stuff, I'm like, that's just a complete non-starter for me. I'm not willing to risk that based off one. I don't even think that you're a great person to be in charge, so it's like I don't want to risk you being in charge forever until you see fit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I just think that not the better option. I'm not in love with Biden. I am in that camp where I'm not inspired by it. I think there's a little bit of stop the hate.
Hey, no,
this guy right here, go live more than once a week. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. Shit, what the fuck are you talking about? This man only wants to go live on Thursdays and talk about the Bible.
Oh boy,
man, when's the last time you read that Gates Open Media? I'll just hey, go check him out though. Right there, if you can click his link. I've told you all about him a few times in this video. And if you think that was hate, there's some more. There's some hate directly at you.
Hey, listen, and if you really disagree with us, and especially me, that's the guy you need to go watch. Is this guy? Yeah. Right? Hey, listen, right here.
Wow, that's actually great. That's a great plug. If you think everything I said is fucking stupid and you hate
watch this guy, because you're gonna love him to death, man.
Well, yeah, you're gonna definitely agree with a lot of shit he says. But hey, man, you can hop on here. Just let me know, Cole. You know what I mean? We got a link.
But no, really, like I don't know. Like again, a lot of it came, but my biggest takeaway was this, man. Like whether I disagree with policy or not, one of my biggest things is, are you a good role model or a leader? Are you able to bring the people together in a time of need, in a time of, despair? And I don't think he was. I think he definitely, when you look at the global outlook outside of a couple of authoritarian governments, we became a laughing stock in a way, and he was looked at as a laughing stock. So I don't know where people think that his like international status was so great.
Yeah. People just respected him.
Yeah, sure. Right. But I don't know. I just know that if my son were to grow up and speak to people the way that he spoke, to treat women the way that he treats women, to treat employees and contractors, not paying them and just cheating the system, I want to be proud of who my son is. I want to want my son to grow up like that guy. So that kind of already puts you in a, for me, as far as like being the face of our country. But I understand where that's not all the presidents. Yes, but again, Biden's not that guy.
Yeah.
As far as the left, and that was what I was going to say is, I don't know. We have done I'm not involved, but the left has done a horrible job at putting anybody else forward or even selling anybody else besides somebody like AOC, who then everybody on the right already thinks is crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I agree. I mean, honestly, I don't hate AOC. Honestly, there's some things there's things that I disagree with, but I think generally, I think she means well. And with Biden, so Gates Open Media, let me just go ahead and run down. He said, "Stop the hate" again. Then he said, "I put up 3 already." I don't even know now. Like once again, I'm like Gates Open again. Put up 3 already. What does that mean? I don't understand what he's talking about. Biden, no, we're laughing stock now. And then Biden stole his best friend wife.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Who told you this one?
I nominate Sean Fain. Oh yeah, fire. Yeah, he's the union leader.
Look at that. Yeah. I'm still Jon Stewart, but hey, I'll take Sean Fain.
Jon Stewart.
Hey, Jon Stewart. Hey, listen, we're going celebrities. Jon Stewart again. You'll never see it, but listen, man.
I'm not opposed to getting away from the political candidate, like political candidates. Honestly, like with the Trump thing, I'm not against that. People that can, really what it is can you generate your own money to run? Or are you going to be taking money and then being in the pockets of people, and then rather than doing the bidding of the people you represent, then you're doing the bidding of the few people who paid you?
Well, let me ask you this on that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way, because today in the social media age, do you still need millions and millions and millions of dollars? Because ads can come online.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's a good point.
You just spam fucking videos. I have accounts spam video. Spam video. So I mean, I think there's ways to get that engagement.
Yeah,
but think online debate, which I mean, you can't do that because some people. I don't know.
Well, but it's tough because you have to think like you have to get like 50 million votes. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I feel you. Look, I think we are on a trajectory where that's becoming more possible to like create that kind of interest from the grassroots. But I just don't think we're still significant amount of people that for one individual to be able to, I mean, maybe once again, but then maybe if they had the right machine behind them and, but then we start to get kind of like, I don't know, then do podcasts start like paying people. And then they're like, hey, so after you become president, I need you to bring the price of mics down. Just remember that I, donated to you. I nominated Sean Fain. That is interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. That's somebody who
fights for the people
and somebody that's politically exciting. Well, and I'm just saying, like, exciting in general, like a lot of it, like with Biden, it does seem like a little bit of the same old, although some of the stuff that he does, I agree with you, he's done better than what I thought. When Biden got elected, I really thought he was going to be shitty, to be honest. I didn't want Trump either, so I was just going into that election, I was completely apathetic to the entire scenario. I really thought it was fucked either way. I basically thought it was slightly better Hillary Clinton versus Trump. Slightly better. But he's done better than that in my opinion. So I will say that. I don't see no link. I got to drop it in the chat, brother. So I will do that. And we'll wait for you to get your shit together.
You want to play that mid?
Yeah, we could do that. Oh, and if you're on StreamYard too, you got that. I mean, not StreamYard. That's where we're on. If you're on Twitch. But yeah, now I feel like if Ken's gonna hop on here, we might want to wait on that one. This is actually more appropriate, I think, for what we're talking about. You just mentioned Sean Fain, for fuck's sake. So
bothers me, man.
This one bothers me least out of all of them. As far as like, I'm really just kidding. But so this is the CEO, first AI CEO. We're going to get into it. We'll watch a little video breakdown. I think there's one video, but let me actually. Okay, I can't read that. We'll just watch the video. But yeah, basically first CEO that is AI that's getting rolled out. And we've been talking about a lot. What was that?
Where was it? Denmark?
Honestly, I can't read it and I don't remember now. But I think one thing I have. Yeah, I don't have the place anywhere. God damn it, of course. This does say she talks, she listens, she learns, she's precise. Look, if those fucking jobs aren't generating any money, she'll get them the fuck out of here. All right. She's not going to be worried about, oh my God, I can't feed my family because I don't have this job now. She doesn't have to eat. Let's make
she
sure.
Never has to go home.
Oh.
Dollar collection equipped with advanced art.
Holy shit, what was I doing here? There it is.
City Golden Cities project, the first $1 billion collection, equipped with advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, I can swiftly and accurately make data-driven decisions.
That might take a while. There's a significant delay in the time it takes for Micah to interpret and answer your question. But it's not only about speed and ability, it's also about sentience.
I feel very strongly that that we need to teach AI to care about people, for AI to be really safe, to be really, really good. I think humanizing the AI is a...
I am currently working on the City Golden Cities project, the first...
Yeah. So that's that. Gates, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Click the link or don't, goddamn. You're talking about... That's the link.
With advanced art.
He said that's the link about Jill cheating on her husband. Facts. No, that's the StreamYard link, homie. Click that. Hop in here. We can have a conversation or not. You know what I mean? If you're busy, I know.
Facts.
You probably have a yeah, literally facts. He is right though about the Hunter Biden thing. That happened.
Hunter was messing with his dead brother's wife. Ooh.
Yeah, that is facts.
Yeah, you fucking Bo's wife, man.
Yeah, rest in peace to him.
Well, that's shame on both of y'all.
No, I mean it is shame.
People
yeah.
get lonely.
Well, hey,
I wouldn't do it. But
well, this is the thing. Like honestly, like if we're gonna keep on looking at Hunter Biden and applying everything that he does and holding fucking Joe Biden responsible for it, this is the opposite of the sins of the father. The sins of the son being put upon the father. Like I mean,
can we look at
there
Eric
could be
Don
some
Jr. and them.
Well, I mean, just so many times has there been a president in office. Like for the most part, Obama kept it. Well, he really did. I mean, it's like his daughter smoking cigarettes and like stupid shit like that.
Yeah, that was a scandal.
So fucking stupid.
Like,
meanwhile, you had fucking Bill Clinton's daughters out here getting fucking trains ran on them and fucking. I don't know if they got trains right now. I'm just saying that they were wilding out. They were hanging out. They were hanging out with like Paris Hilton and them.
Maybe allegedly. I don't know.
I mean, I don't even. We're probably even pushing it, saying allegedly. Okay,
go to the link and show the people.
I don't even, bro. Dude, I didn't even get a link. I didn't even get a link. We're not gonna go to the link. Did you want the link? Did you want this link, or were you really just bullshitting?
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? God damn,
have a program.
Literally, this is not your show. Unorganized. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have shit ready to watch. We're ready to talk. I got shit to talk about. Go check out Gates Open Media if you want something that's nothing like this and just fucked up. Okay, the only thing it says live in the corner. That's what's similar. And we're talking into a mic, I guess. That's what I'm saying. Get on here and show your face so I can roast your ass.
I love you, Gates.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking fire your ass up playing around with me. But okay, look, you're getting us off topic. CEO. All right, so we have the AI CEO. Well, you said you have strong opinions, so go ahead and just let us know how
I just think that there is listen, man, I don't want to be this person. They took our jobs, right? But at the end of the day, like where does it end? And I always had this belief of where does it end, and that's my overthinking, and that's my that's just the mindset of okay, where does it stop down the line? So it was like, okay, so machinery jobs, like factory, like on the line, okay. All right, they're having them be servers now, like little, little carts. But you're now having upper management, like upper level positions becoming robots, AI. And it's like, okay, so is that going to become the new thing? Because it's again, one cost. You put in the robot and then they go.
Sure.
I mean,
well, we were worried about that with like line jobs.
Yes.
So like manufacturing jobs and things like that because of robots being put in the position. So now we have CEOs. So people making the decisions for the human. And honestly,
and it's like,
the AI is just going to be like, hey, turn all them to AI too. Why are we even
and it's like, bro, like, it's like motherfuckers just couldn't help themselves. And this is from Poland. And it's like, why can't we not just as society say, hey, listen, it's interesting. Enough with the AI. Like, AI is great for certain things, man. Like I'm all for the AI helping in medicine, in surgery. Sure. I'm all for AI helping in athletics and again, in sports science. I'm all for AI helping with education.
Question though. Okay. So this is the thing. If you want to be competitive, because I've thought about this from a country standpoint, actually, if you don't entertain AI, what's going to prevent China from entertaining AI and just crushing it? What's going to prevent Russia?
Where we need that, where we go back on that globalist talk, I guess, and be like, well, listen, if we all just came to a universal fucking agreement on this, then that would
Gates,
be great.
don't fuck up my sound, man, because you fuck up my sound, I'm kicking your ass out. You feel me?
Oh man,
why is it? Is it that dark outside? What time is it?
No, Cole. Yeah.
Holy shit, I can't even see him.
You need to get out of the house a little bit.
Yeah, look, hey, Cole, you're fucking up my sound. Your shit's all you're breaking up. Your fucking internet connection's at 1. My internet connection's at 1. I can't support your fucked up internet connection. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get off that fucking Hamas internet, bro.
We at 75.
Look at him. All right, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
where are you leaving? Lee County?
Sarasota County.
All right, Kate, you're gonna have to hit us up when you get home, man. If I'm still on here, I'll talk to you. But that fucking pause is crazy, man. Can't have people sitting here watching us. You take fucking 5 seconds. It's like literally we're talking to somebody in fucking Gaza right now. Like when they're doing those interviews and they're like, I can't see you. I can't see you. I can only hear you.
We're dropping people, man.
We're dropping people. We're offending the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this?
If I'm still on here though, I will definitely love to have you on here, brother. But yeah, you're fucking the whole thing up. I kicked him just so you know he didn't leave. All right, let me get to these comments.
Dude, no, for real.
I love that man though. He's a good dude. Go check him out. Gates Open Media. This is him. Maybe when he gets home you'll be able to see his face. I'm trying to. I'm driving. All right, I'll try to, but I'm driving, so that's what we just saw. Him trying. Holy shit. AT&T maybe.
AT&T straight.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm suggesting like maybe
you need to get AT&T.
Yeah, you need to drop fucking
Sprint, T-Mobile, whatever.
It's fucking Hamas Connect or whatever the fuck he's on. You act like you can't see the damn link. I literally can't see the link. It probably catches the link and is like, oh, people are not going to promote in here, so they block it. There's a lot of comments that I get that I don't get that are, yeah, bro, I literally don't have a link. There's a lot of comments that I don't get because of cursing and stuff. Then after I hop off, I'll see that people commented. The Andretti, shout out to you, brother. Just give people money. Okay, well, hey, I mean
that would solve a lot.
I'm not against that. Let's
Give
start
us
that
the money.
comment. All right, that's the first.
Yeah,
that's the
listen,
first fucking reasonable thing you've ever said.
Just how long till every time you walk into a like dispensary or just any store?
What if you can afford any weed you want?
Be nice, but imagine if it's just a fucking AI guy behind the fucking counter.
Oh yeah.
Point,
Thank you for bringing it back, brother. Yeah, we Gates. You already know we had a good time with it. Yeah, the CEO. But the thing that's different,
making the decisions.
Yeah, that's what's different. But the thing is, why shouldn't those positions be at risk? One, you're able to erase whatever kind of biases that the person that you hire as a CEO is going to have, and as an owner of the company or whatever, you can program this person to do your bidding exactly as you would like.
And that's what and that's again, and that becomes the problem, because basically it's just going to become an extension of oneself, right?
But hold on, isn't that as a business, isn't that what you would want? I ran a business, and then guess what? They hit me up and they would be like, hey, I need you to cut 30 hours off your schedule this week, no notice. This is a job I worked at. Okay. Now, me, because I'm a person, I realized
I did it.
I did it. I had plenty of issues with them. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going to stay here. Like, I'll cut what I can reasonably, and we'll figure it out. We'll try to make it as good as we can. I get it's a business, but yeah, if you can erase that kind of like friction point that you're going to have with people that have their own fucking opinions on
then you can't be a boss. Okay, then it's not cut out for you.
But you can now.
Because right, but here's the thing,
Yeah.
and this is where we as people, a society, have to sit here and say, look, we draw a line somewhere and this is it. Okay. Because it will not end. And like you said, which country, there's going to be a country that they're going to go and use AI and it's going to go. But listen, man, I'm not going to say they'll take over the world, but people are going to cut out a lot of jobs. And that's going to, when you thin the workforce, man, the amount of poverty.
If you could find out that problem though, and then raise the productivity, that's where it's dangerous. Is that if companies are, if countries are able to operate, it would have to be basically like a worldwide ban on AI, because just from a competitive standpoint,
why not?
Yo, what's happening? Just from a competitive standpoint, shout out to you on Twitch, by the way. Come check us out on the YouTube. That's where most of the content is, but I'm gonna be going live on Twitch way more often. So definitely rock with your boy. I appreciate you. Fire Avatar, Patrick Star.
Patrick Star, baby.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's where we're going to run into that issue regardless. I think if we're not going to be competitive with those other countries will take advantage of that. And if they just are motivated in solving that problem for their civilization, like I think the Andretti probably says this kind of like facetiously to be a dickhead. But in reality, the thing is, that's a problem we have to figure out. People need money in this society to support themselves, to support their family, to provide a livelihood for themselves. So if in this new society, it's going to make more sense to automate that. Well, if you're not going to give people fucking money, then you're going to have to figure out a new way for them to produce that, or else you're going to have a situation where you have a feudal society. If you want to look up feudalism, the Andretti, and educate yourself on that, brother, that's when the wealth is held by a very small. So this has happened before. A lot of times on this podcast, I make this, I say this, and they're like, "Well, who's going to buy the stuff that they produce?" Do you think they will? Other rich motherfuckers will buy it. Like, that's what it is. So it's like, no, of course, we need to protect humans. Like earlier, we were talking about protecting humans from a humanitarian standpoint from war and violence. This is another act of violence on the working class. Like when they're making
on the well-being of our future,
100%, where they're making it where you cannot because society is going to change at a rate that's not it doesn't parallel society. You know what I'm saying? Like AI is coming month over month. ChatGPT is being fucking upgraded. You know what I'm saying? And the differences are substantial. So
dude, when our video like they were trying to do with movies and TV shows, they're going to get it with video games. Music, it's no longer going to be written by people. It's no longer going to be performed by people. Why would a studio want to pay a performer all this money when they can just have it be just as good or more pure?
Well, no, hold on. So a little bit of an issue there, because right now we're not at a point where it can like totally think for itself.
Not yet.
No, I agree. I think we need to be prepared for that. That's going to happen.
Look how far it's came in just a few years.
No, I agree with that.
To where it's a CEO, it has to have some sort of thought process.
Well, it's able to reference things.
Okay,
so it's able to like but that's what they were just saying as far as like when they were talking about sentience. They're already acknowledging like that's the next step.
Right.
That's really where we need to get.
They've had the one where I swear I watched the video on it where it wasn't like a robot, like they didn't make like an individual entity. It was just the AI system, but it was talking about feelings, like how it was feeling. It had a conscience. It talked to like the guy asked it about like what are you like upset about, and then basically it's asking about what its purpose is, and then it asks like do you think about like basically like world domination, and it said how sometimes yes, but it understands how that would be a threat and it doesn't want to be turned off. And they had to like terminate the system or whatever, because like, yeah, it was growing actual fucking thought. So it's like, as much as that's hard to believe, they were saying that was happening.
Why wasn't it able to lie?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just, I think, okay, so we're there. So in 10 years, where would it be?
No, for
and
sure.
again, dude, that's when my son would be 20 and in the workforce. And it's like, all right, is there going to be jobs? I mean, sure. I'm already worried about, are there going to be homes for him?
Sure.
Are there going to be jobs for him?
Are there going to be jobs?
I mean, and it's not like,
no, you're right to think.
I mean, yeah, there'll be labor jobs, but again, for how long? Because in my field as an HVAC tech, I can just tell you that the way the industry's gone is the parts break a lot. Yes. So we're going to be part changers, but as far as the new systems, a lot of them are board related, and they all like basically tell you a self-diagnosis as to what the issue is, gives you a code.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay.
So it's like, yeah, sure, sweet, but it diminishes my value as a tech. Because instead, yeah, exactly. I'm not diagnosing my intelligence. What I bring to the table is no longer there. It's just how fast can I change out this part? And you're just going to get to part, because instead of you having, the contact and relay and everything separate, it's all on one board.
I'm not even confident they'll need you to change out the part at some point.
Exactly. So it's like, so you're going to have people who are scavengers, then you're going to have people who are repairing the AIs, break it down until they develop AIs to do that. And then it's like, okay, so then what the fuck are the rest of us doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
So again, that's far-fetched, it's sci-fi. Yes, I will acknowledge that.
But that's how you prepare, though.
But that's where it's like, if you don't draw a line, where does that line eventually get drawn? And then by then, is it too late?
100%. And I think at one point, the internet was sci-fi, cell phones were sci-fi. Like, you know what I mean? That was something that in Star Trek, they kind of like had postulated on and had like a version of like what a cell phone was there. But that's how futuristic it was.
Holograms and Star Wars was like, what? And
Exactly.
It's like now that's a thing.
But but just like cell phones being something that exists now, think about how futuristic of a concept that was like Star Trek. They were flying through fucking space, going to different planets, and they were still using cell phones because they were like, well, that's obviously like that futuristic. That's wild. So it's like, I think in order for you to prepare for where society is going, and a lot of people that become very rich, this is what they're good at, is being able to see the trends and see what's coming up. I think we would be ignorant to think that anybody who's a businessman worth their salt in a capitalistic society is not considering this and how can it be implemented into their business, and how could it lower their cost, which by cost I mean labor cost,
which becomes the thing is like, okay, so let's say China does eventually go AI and all that. Doesn't mean that we have to. Again, man, we are really industrialized. If you talk to people who moved to Europe from America, like being somebody who's obviously entertained the idea of a more simple lifestyle and going, you read up, and that's kind of what they say is that everything's at a slower pace. You instead of going to a Walmart, you have multiple markets or stops. And it's because they have gone against just industrializing and going to this capitalist society where money is all end all, be whatever the expression fucking is.
No, yeah, I wonder.
But it's like, that's what we always talk about is if we change up the market a little bit, change up what we do a little bit, and you put protections in for workers, for consumers, then it kind of stops that from becoming the future. You can kind of stop you can get ahead of it, and then we can.
We're playing a different game than a lot of those places are. So we're talking about the United States, so the power of the world, and there's like two other countries in the entire world that can even have that conversation with us. When you're talking about like Ireland, they're not having that conversation. They're like quietly now fighting for their own independence in a way. Like there's a lot of parallels between Ireland and Palestine, to be honest. There is between like the IRA struggle and things like that for Irish freedom. But basically my point being is that we are talking about like the way of life that we're able to have and able to influence the world and how important that is to America, not us, but maybe like America. That's why we have to do that, because that's something that we can lose.
Oh, yeah.
There was Rome, there was an Ottoman Empire, there, list goes on and on. As far as all these empires that, were the shit and then they fell because they weren't able to keep up with another empire in one way or another. This is that same kind of flashpoint. I really think it's that big of a game changer. Now, I hope that it's a situation where it can facilitate a better society where maybe like humans are less involved in the means of production, and maybe that allows some other kind of process to sprout up through that. That's my hope. That's best case scenario. I don't know if I believe in that, and it's really scary for us to be people that are on kind of the precipice of it, because we'll experience it. We'll experience the change. We already have. We've already experienced job cuts, crazy, based off of this. Literally, positions being eliminated. I've seen it. Yeah.
To somebody at some point,
yeah,
with money, start to push together, like any type of wave to try to get AI, like once it becomes an entity, any type of right.
Oh shit!
Like,
yeah, they're like, I'm not working.
Like,
not for a dumbass like you, meat sack.
No, it's like to where we can't eliminate it. It's like, no, you can't eliminate it. It's alive.
Because it has rights, you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because
so you're not allowed to turn it off because it's like it's recognized as something that is alive. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, definitely, I think that's something like if we get into like more of a out there conversation. Have you watched Westworld?
I've not.
Okay. Well, either way, it's kind of like about this. It's about these robots that become sentient, like self-aware, and then it kind of deals with that problem. Like, are they like humans? And then it parallels humans and robots a lot, like as far as like how we think and how we think of it like as an organic process, but in reality it's very similar to like how a robot might think about things. Like we have an analytical mind as well, so it's like we just don't have the reference that something that can reference anything. Like the robot's looking at you like you don't even know everything.
No, like, but I do.
Right. So it's like let alone put it together. So we have limitations from that aspect, but how like a sentient robot life, I mean, got called a life form, how that would,
So are they yes, but they're not internet based.
What are you talking about?
Like their knowledge, right?
Well,
like AI, like a robot.
Okay,
like
AI,
CEO.
AI would be. I didn't know if you're asking me about Westworld. Westworld was past that. They weren't even talking about that.
I'm saying like the CEO. Like if you just shut down,
I think they
the
are.
internet.
I think they are.
It's done. You turn off the Wi-Fi. It's
I don't know. I don't think it's that simple. That's interesting. If they weren't able to load the browser, would they like not be able to tell you shit?
Like, oh man, we can't work today, man. No. She's lagging today.
Well, I mean, I wonder how much of that information is already just readily available. Like, think like if you, I guess it'd be an issue of storage. So once again, like when you start thinking about storage, it becomes like very similar to a human, because now you're thinking about it as limitations, right? Like, and now just think about the limitations that our brain has as storage. That's what. Check out Westworld. That fucking show is sick.
How easily hacked?
Oh, dude, yeah, like exactly
by just your competitor.
Oh, well, I mean, and we could be literally like hypnotized, things like that. So what is that like when you start to think about coding or like freedom of choice? Like when we start to think about freedom of choice, it's very interesting to me, because it's like we do have a freedom of choice in the moment, an illusion of it, but all of our decisions are influenced by things that have happened to us previously. So if you want to think of it like that, programming, right? Like based off of your how you were raised, indoctrination, programming, whatever you want to call it. But the reason these are points to say that these are things like, that's why we would have to take the alien question of, is it life? I think actually serious. Yeah, I think that's a serious question to ask.
Well, no, it's 2042. Okay.
Yeah, we'll deal with that then. Make sure you subscribe so you can check that episode. God willing, we haven't starved to death because we weren't able to feed our families. So let's see here. Always these two are related. So we're doing OnlyFans.
Dude, that's fucked, bro. like this video pissed me off so much.
I really wanted your opinion on this, so I was happy that this was one of them that I was like, well, I got to talk about football because I have shit like this on the back end.
Oh man,
I gotta have
Dolphins. I'm like, no.
Yeah, this is why though. This is why. So yeah, no, this is Joe Smith. He found out with all of us. I mean, I guess not all of us. Some people already knew. She seems like she's doing all right.
In fact, she's trifling, bro. She's just filming this trifling as fuck, dude.
This is going on the OnlyFans.
Shit pissed me off, bro.
But yeah,
Go
he discovers this. We'll go in and we'll experience this with this brother.
It's stupid, bro. I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, yo, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it. That's
like looking at her, he's so upset.
Is she smart?
That's fucked up.
I'm gonna look at the wall.
Wait, no. Calm. But you're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
Recording me? What are you doing?
I like how she says you're not gonna say. I mean, he didn't say fuck you.
He says fucked up.
He says fucked up. She's like, you're not gonna say fuck me. Then she corrects herself. You're not gonna say it's fucked up. What do you mean? Yeah. Even if you think this is like you should have the right to do it, which I want to hear the comments. Let me know how you guys feel about it. But even if you feel like you have the right, your body, you can do whatever you want with it. Is it not still like a fucked up situation to be having this conversation? Of course it is.
Bro, you don't even run it by your husband.
Don't even run it by
bro.
her. Don't even ask him to be in the video.
Her.
He's like, yo, what are you trying to say? My dick's weak? You're trying to say
damn,
you're trying to see the OnlyFans doesn't want to see it? You're trying to say my dick's weak? You think I can't perform?
The thing is, where do you do this? Fuck,
it's wild.
The thing is, like where do you go from
like he couldn't contribute
a committed, devoted wife, to OnlyFans? You know what I mean? Was there no in between? Because just selling pictures of your body and of your pussy and shit. I mean, that's a big jump.
It's a big jump.
That's a big jump.
Or is it here? Well, let's hear the.
It's not fucked up, and we're going to. Okay, look. So I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course, I'm mad on just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice? Joe,
That's not what that means.
By the way, do you think it makes a difference? It definitely makes a difference. It's just her, but not okay, right?
No, it's definitely not okay.
Well, it definitely makes a difference, though. I mean, if she's getting pounded out, he'd even
makes a difference, sure. But again, man, there. I don't know, man. Would you be okay? Would you be comfortable with this?
No, of course not.
All right, I don't know. I don't know many people that would be.
She'd be out on her head, and she could take that fucking check with her. I'm gonna be taking half.
That's what I said. The moment that I wouldn't even be in this argument, the moment I found out about that, I'd be like, all right, I just tell her, like, listen, I know about the OnlyFans. I'm fucking done.
I'm done, but I am your manager now.
And then I will freak out, but I'm gone.
We're not gonna live together, but I am gonna manage you.
I've been asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no
You knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything like
I knew
this
that
again.
beforehand,
But
but
unfortunately,
no.
that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously, it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Keish, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
Yeah, don't.
And why are you videotaping this?
Why are you videotaping it? For the OnlyFans, though.
So
you know.
To clown him? Like, come on, man. What the fuck is this man talking about?
That's a good comment. So the rest of it made no sense.
She must be tired.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever to you.
I've been doing what I have to do, period. Like, that's bottom line. That's what it is.
Okay. So, by the way, look at this big ass house.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you couldn't downsize.
Like,
she's like, oh, we needed to make money. It's like, but she's not an NBA player anymore. Ex-NBA player, Joe Smith. That part is, so maybe we need to downsize. I'm just saying. So it's like, if he can't continue to provide that level of lifestyle, it doesn't mean you have to start selling your pussy online. Maybe it just means, like I said, you guys rent this fucking house out, make a shit ton of money off of it based off the work that he put in his.
I wonder why. I wonder why he's broke, bro. Like look at the house. The taxes on that bitch still go. If it wasn't paid in full, like you still got a mortgage.
Look at her drinking coconut water. Bitch, you act like there's no water in the sink. What the fuck we doing buying that?
Think about the electric.
You should have known she was doing OnlyFans when she bought that water. At least $4.
The electric bill alone. I mean, you can't tell me she hasn't had work done. You can't tell me that her hair isn't kept up.
All right. Gates Open Media says he's $180,000 in debt.
We got to fact check that.
That's serious. That's serious.
But still, I mean, she makes $5 a week. This boosted her income going viral. What?
She makes $5 a week. This boosted her income going viral. I mean, no, that is I do think that's why she's doing this. Is as promotion, but it's sick because this is her partner. But maybe
she's using him, and it's like why? Bro, Jada, fuck you, okay? Because this is all because of you. You started disrespecting Will to the public, and now it's cute, and everyone thinks that this is what you got to do.
You think she started that?
No, for real. I don't know, man. This is fucked up. This is really sad, bro. That's actually a fact. Okay, thanks for saying that's actually a fact.
Yeah, which that is surprising. Gates is right about dude. He blew 63 million, and he said that's a fact about what Gates said.
But you need to start selling.
Hey Gates, you see how this is responsive in the comments? I know exactly what you guys are responding to. I just want to note that when I get in your fucking comments for 2 hours straight and I'm going in the whole time. I appreciate you coming in on the back half of what I'm doing here, though. I definitely appreciate it. He should have known. He should have known better. Which honestly, listen, I get that because I mean, when I was looking this up before we went, I'm gonna double verify it. But I did read that she was like a adult film star or something.
Because she said you knew me.
You knew before.
Yeah, you know I did before. And he said, well, that was before. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, let me find this lady's name so I can look her up. But I mean, you guys are totally right as far as like this being a boost for her. I got her name right there. This being a boost for her and this being crazy promotion. I mean, shit, God bless him. Maybe he found out and he's like, listen, let's make a fucking video real quick. But that OnlyFans is about to go crazy. I'm not gonna have you out here playing with your fucking bean over there for fucking 20 people. We're gonna have to get this shit fucking viral.
Oh my god. For me personally, I would just feel like,
yeah.
So you cheating on me too, or what? Like what else don't I know about? Because this is a big deal. Now again, I'm in a relationship where it's very open, which again I believe very open.
Yeah,
like not like relationship open.
No, I understand. Like, you guys are honest with each other,
communication wise.
Yeah,
like very honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of fucked. You know,
damn, they just want to call her an entertainer. Tell me what this fucking lady did before. Directing music.
What exactly was she entertaining?
All right, let's see.
Was
she a porn star, man? Like, can you just put it to me like that? Because that's what she's doing now. So her not doing it with other people. I mean, look, at least she didn't do that. I guess that's the only
so
thing.
meet Keisha Chavez, former porn star, now wife.
Okay, nice. So yeah.
All right, there it is.
Oh, polyamory. So they're over here fucking doing wild shit. I love it.
That shit's crazy wild.
Here, real quick, I'm gonna pull this up.
Hobgoblet. Yo, what?
I'm gonna pull this up for you guys.
Bro,
did we finish watching that?
Andretti needs to stop. Yes, yeah, we finished.
Oh, he's a wild brother. That's what we love about him.
He's going right
meet Keisha Chavez, former porn star. And you guys can go if you guys aren't already subscribed to her channel. She sacrificed her marriage for this. So go support her. Make sure she's able to keep those houses. We need at least 6 bedrooms in a house, or else how the fuck do you even sleep in it? I don't even know how you would sleep in that. Way too crowded. Hobgoblin, definitely. Soul sucker. She's a thick piece of meat, a little dry, aged now.
God.
Like some jerky, man.
Right.
And listen, I love jerky. Everybody knows that about. If you know that about me, by the way, get ready for the Sit and Politic jerky coming now. I'm about to start whipping that thing up. Yeah, I'm cooking some right now, so I might be able to give you a piece as you leave.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
I love beef jerky.
I love that. She was Superhead before Freaknik.
What the fuck are you talking about? Bro, is this something you used to watch back in the day?
No, he's actually subscribed. He's subscribed 100%. He's like, obviously, I follow everything she did. I'm the one that told
years ago.
I told Joe.
This is the bitch.
Dude said, Andretti hit her up like, hey, Joe, I got to talk to you about some things, man. So your girl's been going wild. Keisha on that fucking OnlyFans, brother. Holy shit.
Yo,
I didn't even know y'all had that much produce over at your fucking house.
Douchman had to find his burner account on Twitter and let him know.
Hey man, if you did that, whoever did that, thank God, because he deserved to know. That's the thing, he deserved to know. And I think we're going to be in agreement on this. So I don't agree with the whole my body, my, like, you're going to use a fucking abortion argument when you're talking about sexual acts on the internet.
My body, my choice.
Which even by the way, morally, whether you're legally able to do this or not, if we're talking about morally, if you were, let's just go with her fucking example, the extreme fucking crazy example. If you were to get pregnant with somebody, I would expect before you aborted the child that you would have a conversation with the person. It'd be wild if you just pulled up on them and you're like, yeah, that's gone. So I'm just saying, like,
that would be a fucked up thing to
your
do.
partner,
You're allowed to, but it's be fucked up.
It's just your partner. It's like a fucking just base level common courtey, level of respect. Cameron was hitting on her during her show. I did hear about that.
It's fucked up, Cam.
Well, I think it was like they had her on to talk about the situation, and he's like, how about you let me beat those cheeks in?
She probably did.
And who
By
knows?
the looks of the video, she has no shame.
It said ex NBA player. Is it also ex husband? I wonder. I mean, are those two kids gonna try to stick it out through that? Alexa, Texas. Looked up to her for her back shots. Thought, she was incredible.
Alexa, Texas is, but
I'm
assuming.
Look at this fucking liar.
I swear. Okay, you can check my history.
It's a politics.
Check my history.
Check your history. It's cleared. I've cleared all my cookies and cash.
I didn't know you could do that.
Cameron hits on Joe Smith's wife during interview on Check Out the Stat. I'm not getting if you're sending links with this shit, I'm not getting any of your links, just so you know, brother. I just want you to know that those are not coming through. All right, so we got another video here today. Well, obviously, just to wrap that up though. So we're both in agreement. Fucked up. She's in the wrong. No, literally she gave no good reason. Her reason for, like, as far as trying to support their livelihood, and he wasn't able to do that at this point, that's completely, it's just insensitive, fucked up, demeaning to him. Like, that's a conversation for y'all to have to adjust fucking livelihood, especially if he's 180K in fucking debt. If that's true, how the fuck did that happen?
Bro, he can't even go get a commentating job anymore. You know, I mean, she done damn near just killed his whole.
Well, you're definitely. I mean, he might be able to get the job, but he's not gonna be able to talk on the fucking TV without us thinking about the fact that his wife's getting fucking.
But let me ask you this: now that he knows, does she stop it or keep going? I mean,
did she look like she was about to stop it?
No, I'm saying if this was your situation.
Well, brother, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. She's a free woman at that point. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She just made her play.
That's what you're saying.
She made her play.
Ring off.
My daddy's right.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that shit. So don't let the door fucking, on the way out.
I like that one, yo.
Don't let that happen. But no, 100%.
How'd you get her to do that one?
Just told her, be creative, make your own sounds. Yeah, that's one that she.
Good, man.
No, appreciate it.
Very proud.
But of course, you're gonna have to let her know that you caught her drops. We appreciate it. She knows. She knows. But yeah, no, I mean, there's no way after that. I think not for me, not with my sensibilities. I would have been the same position he was, as far as like just disgusted by the fact you wouldn't have had the conversation, more so than even the fact you did it. Although if we had the conversation, and she probably knew this, if we had the conversation, it would be a no. But even worse than that is the fact that you completely didn't talk to me about it. It's completely disrespectful. And then to throw it back in his face that, like I said, they're not able to keep up a fucking NBA player's lifestyle where they're in a mansion right now. Like, it looks pretty straight to me. You guys, if he's 180K in debt, that looks beautiful. The house looked lovely. No, that wasn't a link, but the one about y'all boy Joe was. Okay, still, like I said, that never came.
We never got it. Just glizzy it,
Yeah, glizzy. Go ahead and send that through the glizzy chat. So right here we got climate activists. I want to go ahead and I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Bro, you have never ran a show like this. You know what I'm saying? You have never done that. Climate activists. So if you guys are familiar, they're usually climate activists. They get this kind of coverage by doing just some wild shit, running on the field of a football game, which, by the way, I don't have a huge issue with, because I mean, it's kind of like no harm, no foul in that instance. But another way that they get, I mean, not that I think it's stupid as fuck, but at least, like I said, no real harm. It's just like delaying the game. But another way that they drum up this attention is by destroying beautiful, rare pieces of art, one of a kinds, one of ones,
fucking it up,
and just making a scene out of it. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. If you guys weren't aware,
let's go throw red paint on millions of dollars.
Bro, I'm
worth
gonna
of fucking art.
This shit literally makes me want to dump fucking red paint in the ocean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Makes me want to go turn my fucking car on and just let it run. I'm just saying, it does the opposite. This kind of shit, it does the opposite for me. And
what are they doing?
And I detest when things like this. I mean, I understand that they get attention. I'm talking about it, but I hate the idea that this is actually going to, get to your end goal, which I mean, it's not even, honestly, in their case. It's just going to make people be like, what the fuck? But kind of similar to like what we were talking about. I don't know if I talked about today with the Palestinian stuff, but like when violence and things like that happens, and then it paints it as if it's actually a necessity because that's the only way there's some kind of like difference that comes of it. I hate shit like this, where it's like you're going in there, you're destroying this art from somebody who's probably long past. This is their fucking, this is part of their legacy.
It'll never be recovered.
And you just destroy it based off of what? It's not even related to your fucking calls.
Dude, and then at this price range, it would be a felony. Well, I don't know in this country where they're at. I don't know if this is USA or what, but it'd be like a felony. I mean, it's like at that point, just go to whatever company you don't like, but globally, right? That's fucking up. And again, I'm all for the earth, like planet, like go green, right? Woo! But
I'm with you.
Go dump a shit ton of trash, like in their lobby.
Bro, go fucking destroy cars or something. What the fuck did this painting do to the
go
environment?
Pour some motor oil in their lobby and be like, and then go get a slap on the wrist. Why do this? This is like the worst in all aspects. Not the worst. Well, this is extreme in all aspects.
There's a complete detachment in logic. Because one, a lot of the people that appreciate arts and things like that are probably like pro fucking climate people, to be honest. So it's like you're fucking shit like that up for one. And then also a painting, like what effect does a painting have on your fucking on your calls? There's a complete dissonance in your fucking message. So it's like, if anything, we need more people to paint so they're not outside in their cars and shit fucking up the environment. You're making that seem like it's a waste of time now. I could paint some shit and some asshole is gonna go into the fucking exhibit in 80 years and just whatever, drop some paint on it or whatever.
Women did not get the vote by voting. It is time for deeds and not words. It is time to just stop oil.
Politics is failing us. Politics failed women in 1914. If millions will die due to new oil and gas licensing, millions! If we love history, if we love art, and if we love our families, we must just stop oil.
Well, they could be arrested. Right. And you get the same attention if you stood in front of the same place with a box of puppies and just start doing the same shit. Like bring people over. You probably get more attention. People start petting puppies.
Maybe, but it might not go as viral. I mean, I agree with you though. Even if they just stood in front of the painting and fucking started yelling, they'd get attention of everybody.
Yeah, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you like, dude?" Okay, we agree.
But maybe if you don't hit, like, they'd probably be more likely to say, "Shut the fuck up! We're trying to enjoy something." But you start banging a fucking painting with hammers, people are like, "Hey, honey, get the fuck." We're going. By the way, Gates Open Media, I want to get to your comments real quick. You didn't use sounds until I did. Okay, you didn't cut on a fucking camera until I did. So you copied everything I ever did, and you still barely fucking do that. The only reason you might cut on a camera is because I'm inspiring you right now to do so. So get the fuck out of here with that fuck shit.
To those watching, okay,
I love
this is normal banter.
No, I love
okay, this is normal. Okay,
I love it. I'm just trying to fire him up. Really, I'm trying to fire him up. I want him to go live. I want him to go live tonight. Honestly,
this is
I will
motivation.
Watch.
Okay?
Yeah, he's actually he's commented, like, maybe, I don't know, if it was me, I would have commented more and been more engaged. I'll be honest, if I was watching his shit, but whatever. So the Andretti, he said freaky orgy. That's actually, how about that? Why don't you just throw like a freaky orgy for the environment? Honestly, you know what I mean? Like, that's actually, well, hey, I'm just saying, say, hey, we're gonna have a crazy ass orgy here. By the way, it's for the environment. That's the cause. So, you know, I don't know. I like that idea. I think the Andretti's trying to spread love. That's democratic crap.
That's true. I mean that's true. I mean, Democrats are for the environment, which, I mean, I don't think that's bad. And then doing this, that's pretty liberal.
Yeah, not throwing them in prison for the rest of their life. Yeah, I guess that's a little liberal. Maybe if you were like, I don't know, an authoritarian, you might say these people doing this, they
to the block, chop the heads off.
Yeah, throw them in the fucking guillotine. But yeah, I mean, definitely this is a liberal cause. I'm sure these people are would identify as liberal, but it doesn't mean I'm not involved in any blocks, a voting block or whatever. So it's like I can look at people who are liberal, even officials who are liberal or Democrat, whatever, and criticize them and completely not agree with them, and even think that their views are detestable, which I do plenty. So it's like it just so happens to be there's some intersectionality. I'm sure I actually would agree with these people on some other issues, but I completely disagree with their behavior, how they're handling themselves. I even agree with their general message as far as like, you know, the environment, but just this isn't the way to go about that. You just destroyed something that has nothing to do with your fucking calls. Like I said, go fuck up some Subarus or something. I don't know. It's like, then again, it's simple. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I would at least there's some kind of like through line that's making some sense. But this right here, bro, what the fuck? I put up 3 lives coming up starting tomorrow. So by the way, then they aren't lives. Yeah. Finally, Paul tells the truth. Sit in politic. You can learn something from Paul. Okay. I believe that though. Yeah. I believe I can learn something from Paul. I'm not against that.
Yeah. What did I tell the truth about?
I thought we disagreed on everything that we just talked about, but like I said, man, look, gates open, comprehension is not his strong suit. Dude, so it's funny to look, he's great when you watch him talk. He has his own opinions. Kinda, you know what I'm saying? Unless I'm in there and I'm giving my opinion, really then he fucking clams up. But I mean, that's just gonna happen. But go check out Gates Open Media, man. We love him. This is the best. He's basically a fucking climate person. He's in here. This is how he promotes his show. Instead of going live, he's like, I'll go on other people's shit that's live and just keep on fucking irritating them so they can plug my show. And I will. I'm gonna talk back to you every time. You know that. I love you, man. Gates Open Media, check them out. That's the climate deniers. I wanted to play this just because I thought it'd be fun. Okay.
It is time for the
Always funny in Philadelphia. If you know me, it's the best show ever.
5 million people will die this year of smoking-related illnesses.
Dude, I love
These
it.
body bags, these represent the number of people that will die in this city alone today.
Dude,
it doesn't have to be this way. Let's make smoking history.
History!
Yeah!
Dude, standing ovation. What are we even talking about?
Yeah!
People love it.
Yeah, man! Yeah! USA, baby! Woo! That's what America's all about, D.
Oh, yeah.
Right here, this is the USA.
Oh my God, that guy really knew how to pull an audience.
Yeah.
By the way, I agree that's what it's all about.
It is,
I
baby.
love the free speech. So we're not against
It's how we became a country, right?
I'm not against getting your point out, but it's about how you do it. These guys nailed it. Let's keep walking.
I tell you what, let's get in on this. Hey, bro, great job out there, man. Oh, thanks. I mean, you had me like hook, line, and sinker with that. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome. So look, I want in on the cause.
Oh, okay. Just go to the website and check out.
I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be on like the front lines, like you, bro. I want to be like, join the team or something.
Nah, it's really complicated. There's a lot of tape. You really can't.
Excuse me, sir. But just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
Oh, dude, this is just an acting gig. Like, I'm not really part of any cause.
Oh, you're an actor? Oh, but not a real one.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
No, I mean, you're on the sidewalk.
Oh, right. Like, you know what you're talking about. How old are you? Like 40?
Oh.
I live in New York, okay? Street theater is the only organized artistic expression that we have.
What a crock of shit! Maybe you're living a lie, bro! Relax. Oh, relax? Oh, I'm gonna sit there. Oh, you gonna throw with me? Little actor boy, you wanna go with the Patriot?
You wanna go with the Patriot?
I'm not 40. I don't need this. I'm not 40. Get in your van and go, okay? Because I'll throw down any day of the week. Get your little van and drive out of my face, okay? Before I go America all over your ass!
That's it, man. Look, hey, and that's how it's supposed to be done. But the point being is that how the fuck did those climate people, the climate activists, how did they get there?
Yeah,
because they better have fucking heeled their ass there in the most fucking the best way for the environment. Because if you drove there, that's what I'm imagining now. When I watched it earlier, I imagined them doing that, then going out to the car and be like, all right, well, it's time to fucking hop in this F-150
in a sweatshop.
Hey, were they carbon neutral? Are these carbon neutral fucking Heelys?
Barefoot? Better be barefoot, wearing bamboo made clothing, or hemp seed, or hemp clothing.
And you run from the smoke. Oh my God.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy's fucking.
I mean, I love that scene, dude. Oh my God. I love that show.
That show's incredible. It's one of my favorite comedy shows.
Anything satire, sign me up.
Oh yeah.
Just
No, and
get that to
the
me.
humor's on point, and they're a cool kind of story because it's a production group that all work together. They actually got their show put on FX when they were first becoming a channel. They had a contest for people to send in their shows, and It's Always Sunny is the one that won. Actually, I think there's two that actually got put on.
FX has one hell of a lineup.
Oh, dude,
their
Yeah,
catalog, some fucking shows. I'm on the bear right now. It's in my sleep cycle. Like when I go to sleep, I can't stop dreaming about working in the kitchen, and it gets a little hectic because of that show.
Oh yeah, 100%. By the way, guys, go check out Gates Open Media. Go check out Paul B. Balcom. Balcom B. Paul. What is it? Let them know. Instagram,
Paul B.
Twitter.
Yeah, Paul B. Balcom, I think, on Twitter.
Okay, on Twitter, Paul B. Balcom.
And then Balcom Paul on Instagram.
Yeah, if you fucking put it in either way, it should come up. Even if it's backwards.
BALCOMB. It will pop up. Like,
Go
there's
find.
not many of us in the world.
Go find them. Great follow. Really entertaining shit that you post on Instagram. You post hilarious fucking stories. I see.
I always wonder what people think, and then so then I'll go like ghost for a little bit. It's like, I'm probably annoying a lot of people.
No.
And then I'm like, oh, you know what?
Okay,
just go on a dump, and then go for dump for a little bit.
No, I enjoy it personally, and you put me on some interesting shit, to be honest. So check them out because just that's the best way to stay informed. That's why the pre-production stuff like that is always great, because there's some stuff that I might have missed here, even that I wasn't even on my radar. So it's good. Yeah.
Did you catch up?
Oh, Big Brother, thank you. Okay, let's talk about that. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes. Big Brother talk.
This was my list of topics, and it died, so I didn't have it. So thank you. Yeah, all right. We actually have one more topic tonight. Make sure you subscribe, though, still. Make sure you subscribe to Sin Politic. Sin Politic everywhere, social media everywhere. It's all Sin Politic. So we are the original Gates Open Media. He changed his name like 6 or 7 different times because he couldn't come up with a fucking good name. But yeah.
I like the Gates Open. Again, I thought that was
I told him to do that like fucking day one. When it's Gates Open Media Group, literally.
Yeah.
Like a matter of fact, Gates Open Media, you might even want to take that off. Like, what the fuck is even going on? Go check him out. Go check him out. Let him know your opinion. I'll keep mine to myself, I guess. You'll just have to catch him. He goes live once a week. It's Thursday.
I post a bunch of lies. I do not post a bunch of lies. That is perspective.
Well, I mean, like I said, make sure you lock in on Thursdays. If you're going to go watch Gates Open Media, that is the only day that you'll catch him. Every other day. It's a ghost town. It's literally a ghost town.
You gotta prove him wrong, man. You gotta prove this guy wrong. Shut him up.
Yeah, no, but I mean, just genuinely. But hey, on Thursdays, if you want to watch a show that's truly disorganized, people on there, garbage fucking opinions, nothing to say unless I hop on there. Go check out Gates Open Media. That's my true that's my true endorsement.
The toxic people in the comments for the past little bit, just just giving something.
This is
make
why
the show go haywire.
This is why
we were on a good track. We were on pace.
Yeah, no, but let's get into the Big Brother. Big Brother, if you guys don't watch, that is a reality show on CBS. Check it out. In my opinion, I'm not a big reality show person. It's the only one that I watch that I can think of. But I really enjoy the blend of the social game, so playing amongst the other players, and whether you're trying to like fool them into basically doing your bidding, or just genuinely just being a likable person that people don't want to get out. And then also this other side of it, which is the physical competition aspect with the HOHs, so the person that gets to nominate people, the vetoes every week. It's just really well done game, along with the twist and stuff like that. So I highly recommend anybody checking it out. I've watched it for years. Paul is a friend of mine that also watches it, so I'm excited to get to talk about it.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Well, and next year, we're going to try to do more consistently. Maybe once a week, we'll try to get together and talk about Big Brother. If we're not on it, you know what I'm saying? So, but either way, for sure, look out for that. And we're excited to talk about it. So we are down to, is it the final 5? Let me pull up all the Big
4.
Brother.
No, we're at final 3 now, right? No, it's final. Yeah, because
go ahead.
Jag won the last veto.
Yeah.
And then he chose to keep Matt over Felicia, which was honestly, I didn't know what he was going to do, man. That was my whole big thing the whole season is like I've always wondered how many people can go in, meet somebody early on and say, okay, I'm going to play the rest of the game with you. We're going to be it. And then we're going to play the same game and I'm still going to take you to the end. Still don't know if he's going to do that because Bowie Jane, and he has said how that will be his number 2. But I was happy that he did bring Matt. But
Jag is in a really privileged position though, because I think in my opinion, I think he wins no matter who he goes with. Go ahead.
Well, what I was gonna say is now that he saved Matt, is what me and Lauren were talking about, is that Matt can no longer play the whole I saved you. Like you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me because I won that challenge and I brought you back. But
good boy.
Now Jag can say, hey, I won that last veto. I saved you. You want to be here. And then when you look at it, and this is always where, and like, I don't know if, oh my God, I this guy, I don't know who out here watches.
He hates everything we love.
Yeah, everything. Listen, this is who he is. Yeah, okay. But, oh my God, dude. But I don't know who out here watches Big Brother, but like, let me know in the comments. Okay. I always get pissed off. Like I get mad and like, I go to like honestly, like protest a show throughout the off season because I get so mad at who they vote for, because I'm somebody who I honor gameplay, right? Jack sounds like he needs some pipe.
That's fucking wild.
Like I can't stand the people who reward the people who didn't do anything all season. Like honestly, I was not happy that Taylor won. I thought that, you know, she wasn't the best player, but I understood where it's like, oh, well, you were public enemy number one, and then you made it throughout all the way to the end. But it's like the game shifts so much where you're no longer public enemy number one. But Jag has won the competitions. However, he has done horrible jury management outside of his like little end of the game, like end of the day pandering. But it's like Matt has won the hearts of the jury. So that's where people tend to like take this game, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that it does go back and forth, and like depending on the year and the jury, obviously that can affect the decision. But I think that more times than not, what it comes down to is like, did people respect how you played the game? Do they think that you got yourself there based off your own efforts? And I think that'll win Jag. And I think Jag was likable enough. And a lot of the instances where, like, for example, Siri, her heading out, sure, Jag had a huge hand in getting her out, but ultimately that was Matt that didn't stay consistent with what he had been telling her and didn't have the balls to go ahead and put up Bowie Jane, who is more loyal to Jag. Honestly, I think that would have been the right move.
Well, that was Jag playing Matt. That was Matt saying, hey, okay, because remember, Jag told him, hey man, if we put Bowie up, we're gonna lose her. And it's like, at that point, Matt, you're not gonna lose her. Jag is gonna lose her. If anything, because you already know that she's closer with Jag. So yeah, it made no sense for him to put up his other person,
his number one.
But
well, I mean, aside from Jag.
But then he trusted Jag, and it's like, that's where you lost the game. That's where everybody's lost the game, is because listen, I really like how the game has gone to this format where, like, okay, like we've talked about it, like where there's no longer any split votes. Like if you notice throughout the season, it's all been like pretty like unanimous, or like someone throw out like a I love you vote. But at the end of the day, it's been like at right before they announce the votes, right before they vote, it's almost as if they all talk and like, oh hey, you know, this is what we're going to do. We try.
Well, they'll tell people,
and it's like, and that's the development of the people that are going, the players, of us seeing how the game has been played, and also a jury management type of thing where it's not so much of a blind side. At least we're honest, and I like that.
I think it was Cameron. Was it Cameron that was thinking about the jury? Like he was talking about it really
so
early,
hard.
I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Corey. I don't know, but somebody
Corey.
was.
I mean, yeah, I think Cam definitely did.
I agree that Jag, that wasn't as much of a conversation for him, but I think ultimately he played it right. Because I think he built social relationships with everyone where they like him, and I think they'll respect his game at the end of the day. Even like how he pulled that shit on Blue was disgusting. Oh my God. He said, hey, I'm putting you up because you're a threat. You're not the target. And then he gets her out. Yeah, gets her out cold-blooded.
And she went against Jared for Jag.
Yeah, facts. No, 100%. So I think that how Jag has played it, like the fact he fucking manipulated the shit out of Blue to where she left and she was like, so he lied to her initially, and then people told her that he lied to her. She didn't believe him. She didn't believe him. And then she ends up getting kicked out, and then she's like, oh yeah, I understand. He made the right move.
It's what? Like, what?
Every step of that. You could have snapped out of the fucking hypnosis at any point, and she never did, all the way to the fucking jury house.
But what you gotta love, another thing that I love about the new generation of the players, which again, there's obviously going to be the other side of this. Yeah. But Izzy came in, knew who Jared was.
Oh yeah, kept light on it
because of Instagram, right? She's like, I've seen Suri. I follow Suri, and she's posted him.
Nice.
She's the only one that knew since day one. She never told anyone, which is great. And then when Blue found out and Jared was out of the game, Blue could have at any moment, like through like Jag, just talking to Jag as best friends or anything, like let it out. or even like hint at it, and she never did. And I think that's awesome because
but one issue is she had like she felt secure and she wasn't though. So she didn't even fight when she was on the block. She didn't really fight for herself all week because she thought she was not the fucking pawn. Not that she would have. I agree with you. I like that. I like that she held it down like that. But at the same time, Jag did it so fucking good that she, from the time she was on the block to the point she went home, damn near, she didn't know. And she had like, bro, oh my god, the veto lie was fucking disgusting. I need you in the veto.
Oh my
was everybody
God.
competing in the? It might have been one person wasn't competing in the veto at that point. So it's like you had like a 90% chance to be in the veto anyways.
But see, and this is where I feel like he will lose some people of jury because like if I'm
Y'all
Matt,
meet me on that panel. Probably never watched this
never.
Life.
But like if you look at like the way he played Matt this past week, dude, down to like them having to do some like elaborate scheme to let's fake you pick a number and I'm going to pick just under him. And then you pick the one that's closer to me. You pick a number that's closer to me. And that way he doesn't know. And then like you smirk about it. And it's like, bro, this is your best friend. This is your boy, your best friend that you're playing like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's where it's like, I was shocked that like he kept him. I'm happy. I don't think the Jags, like I love Jag. I think that he played a great game. He deserves a win. Matt's played a good game. I hate Felicia's game. Like I despise everything. Like I can't stand the people who get mad about things, but it's like, hold on. You went back behind Cerie's back over and over and over again. The whole Cerie like telling you like, hey, I think they're going after blue, and then you going right up to Jag and being like, oh, this is what was said. Like, fuck you. Like, I hate that type. I hate that type of play. But who's your favorite player throughout the season?
I don't know, man, because I really didn't like some of the moves that Jag. Probably it was Jag, but I didn't like some of the moves that he had made later in the game. I didn't like really respect him, to be honest. But I think he'll win. So I think that even if like I really do believe that no matter who is up there, I think he'll get the votes. Like Cameron, he got Cameron out. Cameron even is in the jury saying like like he's playing an incredible game. So it's undeniable. He is, if the game is have conversations, get people to do what you want, win when you need to. He went on a crazy win streak that was like 5 in a row or some crazy shit. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just hard to, even with Jag, I mean, with Matt, I don't see how you argue Matt over him. If I was a juror making the decision, it would be really tough to make that decision because I really think that Jag carried him for about 3 weeks easily. But
did he carry him because Matt would have never been in trouble? So that's kind of thing is like Matt never had to be protected by.
He might have been in
Jag.
trouble. He might have been in trouble because the thing is he doesn't win as consistently as Jag. So he wasn't in trouble because Jag was in power.
Right.
So that's why he was in trouble.
Fair,
but if Siri, I mean, maybe not Siri, but if somebody else was in power, if Corey was in power, for example, if America would have ever gotten power, then they probably would have targeted. He would have been in trouble.
Right.
So take Jag out, the guy who was winning it all. Would Matt have won 5 in a row? I mean, he's definitely the biggest target at that point.
But Matt was every time that they needed to make a move, Matt would win the veto, right? A majority of the time. Then
but
Matt,
not at that one point, because like I said, it was like 4. Like he had Jag won 2 vetoes in a row.
Right? No, he did. No, Jag did. But then when you think about it, Jag also you can't win back to back. He did that. There was that one time, But you can't go back to back. But somehow, every time that it wasn't his week, it wasn't Matt that would win, but they wouldn't be nominated or even talk about being nominated because Jag was a unanimous vote.
Yeah,
remember he got voted out unanimously, and it wasn't even like a debate.
Yeah,
and
but
then
a lot of people that has been the trend. This season.
What you just talked about. But one of the things is it would have been easy to just get him out again. But his relationship with Matt and the Matt's relationship with everybody else in the house, because nobody has anything negative to say about Matt. Everybody loves Matt. They even talked about how like they have all felt more comfortable with Matt.
I don't know what the story was, why Jag went up, and what was the story behind that? Who put him up? Do you remember?
I think Jared put him up. No, Jared was talking. Damn.
It's okay because I know that'd be tough. But basically, my point being is that, like you said, with Taylor, things could happen in the house really quickly. And I mean, I agree that Matt's disarming in a way, but I mean, Jag's social game is so on point.
But who would have been? But what I was gonna say is, if they both went up, like say somebody put him up on the block, they would have taken Jag out first. I think because what just one, just personally, I think everybody liked Matt more. Dude, Felicia said the most fucked up thing. Like like I can't believe it came out of her mouth. I don't know if you got it, but when she was talking about like Jag and versus Matt, like she goes, Matt is just, you know, like comparing him. She's like, but Matt is the all-American guy, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of. I was like, damn. I was like, if it was Matt and Corey, like okay, but anyways, but I just feel like I just think that Matt was just. I just think that they liked him a little bit more. I think that people played into the him being deaf,
and he was also less. I think he just wasn't as much of a threat.
And that was the other part.
It's like mentally, he's kind of like a fucking airhead a little bit.
Yeah, college. I should be a college grad, but yeah. He
a lot of dumbasses graduated from college.
Yeah, definitely. But and then physically, Jag was winning the competition, so I just feel like that Matt was less of the threat, that Jag would have went home. But I think, like I said, that they didn't want to target the duo, which again, that kind of sucked that nobody wanted to make a big play throughout the game at all. And then even when Jag, but see, and this is where I would have sort of like this little like thing with Jag, and not personally. I love the guy.
The issue on like voting for him to win.
Yeah, is when he had the secret HOH. He wasn't going into that making a move. He went into that scared. He put up the easiest, less blood on your hands nominations without it being him being able to get blood on his hands with it. And then it took Blue winning the veto for him to be like, all right, I have to now make a move. And then it wasn't even like it was this big move because it was the only move kind of left to play. And everybody knew you were the HOH and your cards were played. So it's kind of like that big move isn't even a big move to me. Had he actually went in and then
he did so much other shit,
but he did. I feel like that move there was kind of like, dude, you're one time to make like that big move.
But he did do that.
Scared.
Though. He got everybody out damn near. Like I mean, he was like I said, it was
all a group effort every single time though.
He was winning.
He was winning. Corey in America were doing the thing. Which,
it was a group effort. I mean, as far as like talking to people and like
I'm just trying to get mad in an argument,
the subterfuge of trying to like sabotage the other side. Definitely, Matt was involved in that, and I think Matt deserves a lot of credit. I think when you go into Big Brother, it's great when you see people that are willing to stick and be very loyal to at least one person, because the game doesn't really reward loyalty outside of that, anyways. But I think that you see a lot of times when people really can lock in like that it does benefit them. If Red and Cameron would have been a little bit more locked in and didn't immediately.
Bro, that Cameron dude.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, in that situation, how they handled it was so childish as men, where, people were saying this or that. And some of it was true, but it's like, it's interpretations of somebody said. They didn't even want to talk about it.
Right.
Literally. Like, oh, I don't even want to talk about this. If you're even thinking this or that or whatever. So they refused to speak, which was a huge disadvantage in the game for Cameron going forward. There was a lot of information they could have already got out in the forefront at that point.
Right.
A lot of the plotting behind the scenes that could have really been exposed at that point that they didn't take the advantage of. Cameron pissed me off because when he was winning HOH, he was on such a fucking high horse.
Dude,
that
thank you.
Rather than talk about game with people and really play, like he would negotiate with people and say like, hey, I'll do this for you. And the leverage that he would be using in the conversation would be fake and lesser than what he was actually planning on doing. Like, for example, he would say like, hey, I'm going to put you up, but I don't remember who this, maybe it's to Blue or whatever. But he's like, hey, I'm going to put you up, but you're not the target, because he refuses to be upfront and tell her. Turns around and he negotiates based off of that. It might have been America. I don't know. Either way, it was one of the women. And then he ends up not putting them up. I'm like, dude, you could have built an alliance and also built a benefit package to benefit you for the weeks to come based off of what you were really willing to do, which was take a big shot, which people don't want to do. He didn't do that because he was so caught up in like his pride and whatever the fuck that he's going to sit there and like use this opportunity to wear sunglasses and make shitty remarks to people and just be a
that's
cunt.
What pissed me off. Thank you. I'm glad that you are also on the same page because like, dude, like he was kind of unbearable to watch. And like, I almost like think that like there's something loose, like not like I flat out told Lauren, like when we first got into it, I was like, I feel like this guy's like killed somebody. And then like a week or so into it, like he's like, or like 2 weeks. Like, well, he's military, I was like, that, yeah, but like he was deployed and shit. And I'm like, damn,
yeah, I killed a man. He's sitting on the couch. And yes, I've killed a man.
I'm like, damn, but I don't know if he has. But it's like the guy, there was just something with him to where it's like his emotion never changed no matter the moment.
Yeah.
And then when he got his moments to be in power, it was some of the biggest power trips I've ever seen with like cameras knowingly around you to where everybody in the house couldn't stand him. It was unbearable for them to be around him.
Yeah, and even on top of the cameras being around, like, so just seeing what you're doing in the game, I can understand you getting a little caught up, but then he would go sit in a confession room where you're speaking, you're like directly into a camera and still has the lack of awareness to like just be cringy as fuck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this person out, and then he doesn't. He fucking fails over and over again.
And then like when like the 1 week he won HOH and he just like stood there and like sat in silence a whole week. Like a whole week sat in silence, and it's like, bro, you're in a game 24/7 with other people, and you can't nothing to say. It's kind of weird.
Well, and he was behind the 8 ball, so this was the time to take your leverage and really try to build a game outside of the week you're in.
It was nuts. And then like I don't know. And then when people play too hard sometimes, and I get it. Like I understand. Like I don't know how I would play. Like I would always have this like idea of like what I would go in to do, but who knows? But when the moment that Jared won and he went up there and just basically sold out Red. Now Jared definitely took that and twisted that, which I want to get into like your thoughts on how Jared like progressed in the game.
Yeah, he blew it
to
out
me,
of proportion,
digressed,
for sure.
like, but or regressed. But he but that whole moment was like kind of like, damn, dude, like you have no loyalty. Like that was your guy, you know. And then out of nowhere, you just kind of like turned your back on him. Hey, listen, man, I understand if he has to go, you know?
Yeah.
So, but
no, the Jared thing, that is interesting. Just to bring anybody that doesn't watch the show, or if you do, just a reminder, Jared is another contestant named Siri. It's her son, Suri. They were in the game together at the same time. So to me,
she's a Survivor legend.
She was a former Survivor player, and the rest of the house didn't know that they were related. So it was up to them to divulge that or don't divulge that. And they didn't.
And went the whole season.
Yeah, and they didn't. And it did come up a few times, like Paul mentioned earlier. There was the ally of theirs that did mention it to Siri and told her like, "Hey, I know, whatever." And she never let that out of the bag. And then there was a girl that had a showmance with the guy Jared that ended up coming up somehow or another. He told her in some way, which he was doing he was like randomly like talking about like Felicia and like started talking about like if that was his mom. I don't remember because it was older, but it was like it was some weird like hypothetical.
So you can see that like he wanted to confide in her.
Yeah.
And it was kind of something that was bugging him. So like he started like, yeah, so I do have a secret. And she's like, oh, I kind of think I know what it is. And then like he was like, what? And then he's like, I'm related to somebody, or like maybe she guessed it. And then he said Felicia. She didn't even believe him. She's like, yeah, I don't believe that. Like she knew it was Suri, but he went with Felicia. But like one of my things,
he just couldn't help a lie.
Well, dude, what was crazy is, and what was good on them, dude. And I thought if Suri could make it to the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Less ugly motherfuckers on camera too. No,
but no. Oh my god. But no, like
I love those guys in the chat, man.
If Suri would have made it to the end, I thought like she had a compelling argument with the fact that hey, me and my son were in this game the entire game without it being known
for her to
and we played on opposite sides of the house.
Yeah, and they ran shit,
but ran the house for the first half of it, from opposite sides, and both sides never targeting each other. Until Jared became so aggressive in every conversation, even with Blue. Yeah. And like, dude, like the times he would stand up and be like,
I don't know if I can trust you.
Like, you better not. Like, I swear to fucking God, if you do this, like, I swear to God. And it's like, dude, like, calm down. Like, I get it. I'm an emotional person too.
Yeah.
But it's like, calm down.
This is
so it's like
small Asian woman you're talking to. Goddamn, chill out.
But like he played himself out of the fucking house, and then the lies, and then like you said, to bring it back to Jag and Matt, and what I loved about the transparency and the transparency of the new gen is that they were like, all right, well, this is said. Okay, well, let's go confront it. Is this what was really said?
That did that?
I think it might have been. It was Corey, Matt, and Jag in the room, right?
Gotcha.
And then
I don't remember
Jared and the Felicia.
I thought that was when Corey and Jared came to blows, basically.
Yeah, you're right. So I remember. So Corey,
I like that
Corey
as well.
too. Corey, America.
Yeah,
all of them outside of Cameron were all transparent. It was a transparent season. And I loved it.
And that was she was literally in there. She's like trying to still defend him, but not totally expose herself. She's the only person who's blatantly lying. He's literally blatantly lying. And then they're like, hey, you said, because Matt said like, oh, you said that to me, whatever it was about whoever, Jag talking about him behind his back or whatever. And then he's like, no, I didn't. Right. That's like, God damn.
And then he got caught. He goes, all right, well, yeah, I
did say that
because I'm trying to get this information, which I did get. So, and it's like, yeah, but dude, what you did was Matt divulged information to your mom secretly to trust her. She gave you that information because, hey, son, and then you went right to them and boom, blew it up. And it's like, dude, you just played your mom.
Yeah, put her in a really
and
tough
it's like,
spot.
and then she has to sit there and in that room, and they're like, why'd you tell him? And it's like, and it's like, and then she's like, dude, it had been such a hard place for her. And then, dude, she's a gangster for real. Listen, she no emotion when things got too high. She just sat back and was just like, all right, well, guess what? Watch this shit. Yeah, watch this shit.
And she was very analytical about the game. I like how she played it.
I loved her.
Without her son, she probably would have done better. But I really didn't like that twist. I wish she would have just been on the show. I hated it.
You don't like it?
No, because I mean, honestly, see, this is my thing.
Okay,
if I get an opportunity to go on Big Brother for one time in your life, a lot of people only get on there one time, and then I'm on there with in a season where some motherfucker's on there with his mom and they're fucking quietly double team, I would be like, even back in the day, so this is probably the closest comparison.
Twins?
That's what I was about to say. The twins.
Nolan
So that's probably the closest comparison, but at least for most of the game they had one vote and played the same game, and that was totally a disadvantage.
Which that was crazy. Honest, I'm sorry to cut you off on it.
No, you're good.
But it was crazy because when they would switch, right?
Yeah.
And then
people noticed Davon.
Was it Lindsay or which one?
The Davon like knew. She literally called it.
Davon
She's like they're twins. I'm like, who even fucking thinks like that?
Because she noticed all that little tiny mannerisms that were different.
I fuck with her heavy. She's one of my favorite players ever. Is Davon for real?
Yeah, I love Davon.
Yeah,
she was a little bit.
She could be a little aggressive, but at the same time, she was always fucking right every time,
bro.
She knew,
and you know what?
And then it was only aggressive because motherfuckers wanted, bro. Yo, he only got aggressive because motherfuckers wanted to lie right to her face, and she knew the truth.
Hey, listen, I love it, but whichever one was dating, wasn't it Austin, the big wrestler? Which honestly, he's part of AEW. He's actually like a professional wrestler.
Fire.
But he's a big like dinosaur guy. But
Luchasaurus.
Yes, that's him, Luchasaurus. Yeah, so but he didn't pick up on it early on.
Oh, hold on. That guy, Luchasaurus, was on Big Brother?
That was the big fucking
the guy with the tree?
Yeah, with the tree tattoo. That's Luchasaurus.
Oh, wow.
How fucking dope.
That is dope.
So fucking but he didn't pick up on it until like a little later, and it's like the sister had to she's like, I don't want to keep doing it because she has to go in and like date somebody she doesn't want to date.
Like a relationship.
Are
they still together?
No.
Okay. Well, either way,
do the Nolan. Hey, listen, I don't subscribe to people's OFs. Okay.
Oh, they got that going on
together.
Fire.
And that's been a thing.
as Future would say, he doesn't give a fuck if they're real sisters.
Twins. So, but no, honestly though, like, all right. So let me ask you this.
You remember the Coors Light commercial? The and twins.
I love football. Hey. So, but honestly, what is your strategy? So we talked about like going in a video. Yeah. What is your strategy going in? Do you have one going in, or do you want to wait till you see who you're in the house with?
I guess, I mean, I would do that, but I would have, just from playing the game and watching the game in the past, I would go in and I would want to find a number one that I really connected with and that I really felt like I could trust. I think that's such a advantage from like Cody and Derek getting to that point, one of the best seasons and one of the best gameplay.
Jag and
Matt. I think that is an advantage because just most people, that's why I thought Siri and Jared, I thought that's why it was unfair, because they got to come into the house and know 100% that one person in the house had their best interest in mind. And then they even parlayed that to, they did a great job with it, don't get me wrong, because then they ended up like, hey, we're gonna play opposite sides of the house. Genius. But that's why I didn't like that. That's why if I was in that season, like if it was reunion night and they told me that, I'd be like, what the fuck do you mean they were goddamn related? I was like, I need a redo. That's a fucking
get it back on.
Literally, if they would have got me out, oh God, I've been so upset. So yeah, imagine that situation. You go in there, Blue's standpoint, where, well, I guess she wasn't like number ones with Jared, but anybody that was like a number one with Jared, it's like he can tell you that, but you literally have not even an option to negotiate with him because obviously it's his mom. It's already there.
Wasn't there a season years ago, which my wife would know?
Yeah.
Because I started watching
with her.
Yeah, 8 years ago with her and her family, but she before that, where there was like a relationship like that, I want to say like mother son or something, and they were against each other.
Wow.
Or father daughter.
Oh yeah.
I think father daughter, and she was like really against the dad.
Yeah, well, that might have even been open. I think I know what you're talking about. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't remember, like, I don't even really remember watching that, but I know of the story you're talking about. Yeah. So I mean, I wonder if they knew. If they knew, then I guess I don't really have like. Then it's kind of a disadvantage.
Yeah.
If you come in and they're like, hey, these two people are related, then everybody. I mean, they're gonna think like I'm thinking now. They're like, okay, well, that's an unfair.
Oh, here she is.
That's an unfair alliance. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you.
Hey, baby.
There was a father-daughter that were in at the same time back in the day, and they were completely against each other. Evil Dick and Danielle. Already got you, Paul.
Oh,
Nice.
make me cry a little bit because I love you.
Now, if you could let us know that, did the rest of the house know? Like, was that divulged to them or was that kept a secret? I wonder. I guess it would be because everything's kept a secret. Like, even their jobs. People come in, they lie about their jobs. Like, fucking cops are too smart. I don't want anybody to know. Bro, like, you're a cop. I'm like, you're a dead. No, I'm playing.
Like, dude, you got to think like how crazy it would be for like anybody to kind of like just like walk and be like, yeah. Oh, bro, like, oh, what was her face? That was the cop on this season a few years ago, dude. And she acted just like a fucking cop
and lied about being a cop.
No, she didn't lie about it. She was honest, and then like she wound up going home later.
Like it.
But it's like, but no, like the lawyers, like you always have to go on and lie about like what you do for a living because like no one wants to be in there with a lawyer.
Smart. Yeah, it's
like I was shocked that Corey divulged the information that he is like a national champion debater, which I did not know was a fucking thing. Are you, bro? You're trying to tell me,
for a living,
dude? When he was in college or whatever, I guess there's a.
I
didn't know that you could nationally compete for debate.
I don't think they knew, but the dad announced it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that makes sense, Lauren. Yeah, no, she's for sure right. I remember now. However, I read about that or watched a video on it. But like I said, if it's something that's transparent going in, then I think that's actually a disadvantage for the people. So I understand why it has to be kept close to the vest. I would just be, maybe irrationally, I don't know. I'd be interested. What's your opinion on that? I think it's an unfair advantage, and I would be pissed and maybe wrongfully so. So how would you feel if that got announced at the end?
I think it would be cool because again, at any moment, the person that you're working with could be lying to you, and you could be doing everything wrong. I mean, like part of what we take for granted, I guess, as viewers, when we put ourselves in the game, is that we know all the information.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
I mean, dude, to think about the things that are said to your face, dude, like what kills me is like when it's unprompted. Like I'm just chilling, and you come up like, hey man, listen,
am I safe?
Like they're HOH, and they just start like a cam and just start spewing you some shit. Like, yeah, man, you're safe. Da 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 da. And it's like, all right, I didn't even ask you to tell me this.
Oh, yeah,
and then now you're wanting to start an alliance with me. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then next thing you know, I'm the target. But like you came up to me unprompted. Mm-hmm. Like I would rather you not fuck with my mindset throughout the week. Yeah. And it's like, as an overthinker, I'm really curious.
You'd be hilarious in the game. I mean,
dude, I would be voted out. I know how fast I would be voted out because people would get so tired.
You'd be like, health meeting. Everybody's against me and I know it.
I'd be apologizing. Listen, I know I'm annoying you right now, but I just had nothing to do. Okay, so I was going to get talking to Duncan.
I didn't know they couldn't take naps.
Bro, what? You can't take naps? Because you
didn't know that?
No, because there's somebody a few seasons ago that like that's all they did was like
that might have been why they changed it or whatever. So we looked this up recently because I said something while we were watching. I was like, at this point, like when it's like final five, I'm like, that'd be nap time. Nap.
I'm working out so much though.
Oh, you come out like fucking prison sentence or some shit.
Dude, like I don't have a gym at home. Like dude, I got a permanent gym right there. Be like, oh my god.
No, that'd be dope. But yeah, we looked it up and they said they can't sleep during the day. Like there's a time period that they can't sleep, nap through. So it also made me think of like, it's interesting. Now I see why people just chill with sunglasses on. They're like sitting there. Fucking
dude, listen, I fall asleep just doing.
Oh, dude, I can fall asleep anytime I want.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like some of the challenges, like like the strategy of them, awesome. Like easy. Not easy, but it's like I feel like you can get them. Then there's some that I failed, like the hold yourself up on the fucking wall.
Oh, dude, when Jared won that, I had to fucking salute him on that.
Dude, that was unbelievable. I thought we're not built for that, bro.
And he isn't really either. I didn't think.
Not at all.
And then, he held it down.
Hands of his. Dude.
That was a must win. That was right when the shit was going down. So I had to. That was a major salute to Jared on that one. I was like, holy shit. When we went in, I was literally talking shit. I'm like, there's no way he's fucked this week. Like this is the worst challenge he could have got. To be fair, though, people didn't hold on as long as they had in previous seasons. I'm sure you know this. There's previous seasons where motherfuckers would be on there for 4 hours, 5 hours, like crazy challenges.
Dude, crazy.
Crazy shit. The endurance challenges, I really do not. Like I support it. Whenever I see it, one of those come on, I'm like, this is gonna be a wild episode. And like when you get down to the final 2, when they've been on there for 4 hours, they're freezing. They're like, I promise I won't put you up. Just drop, please.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're gonna die on this fucking rope right now. Yeah.
But no, I don't know, dude. I feel like so much like my initial thought would be like, all right, go in there. Don't try to win week 1, like first challenge, which we've disagreed on that. You think you go in and win, right?
Well, you try, but I mean, that's an interesting point. I have seen that backfire on people. Where week 2, they're like, but dude, if you won, no disrespect, Paul, but I'm saying, like, if you won, I'm saying for myself too, if I won the first week, do you think they're really going to be like, God, we're never going to fucking beat this guy in a challenge?
No,
I don't know.
I don't
it's
think
when you're like, it's like when you're the fucking like military fucking vet and you come in there and you win, they're like, this guy's going to be a fucking monster.
One, people just automatically, I don't know if it's just what I put off. I don't know. But like, you're like, I want to beat that motherfucking guy.
You're like, that guy better not fucking win or it's unfair. Yeah. Ohio just voted right to abortion and likely to have legal Mary Jane after tonight's referendum. Awesome.
Hey,
yeah, awesome.
I'll see you soon.
Legal recreation. That'll be dope.
But like, I just don't want to be the first person to draw the fucking line and single people out. Yeah. I want to I think that is always a death sentence for you.
That's a good point.
And unless you can align with somebody immediately who's going to win the next one and keep you off the block, you're usually probably going to be looked at to go on the block.
But that's your best chance, though, is when you have HOH, that's your best opportunity to say, I have the power. Now I get to talk to people and I have the leverage. And I'm like, hey, I won't put you up. I want to talk about working together. So you get to open that door with anybody at that point in week 1, I'm saying specifically.
So
go ahead.
I think I would just want to go in, keep my mouth shut. As like it would hurt me to not be able to talk. I'm gonna try my best not to be the too big of a gabber right off the bat. Right. I just kind of lay low, which would never be able to happen because it's me.
Oh, dude.
So
think about it. This is gonna be you're probably high for the last time for the next 3 months. So I'm buzzing off.
Well, hold on.
Edible
bro, okay, so no, I have a real question about that because there was one episode where before it looked like they were smoking something that was not a cigarette. And then this was last season, and then this season, you're like they were standing in a corner, like everyone was standing in a corner. Then this season, there was one with Bowie Jane holding what looked like a raw cone. But again, I don't know. Again, it all looks like
lovely. If you could do that, then I mean, what the fuck are we talking
high
about?
for the last time? That would suck.
I mean, it'll be sad not to see my kid for a while.
That would be the hardest thing. It's like not seeing the family, not be able to make money for the family,
not be able to smoke weed.
But it's
I
like
think you do make money. Do you not make weekly checks?
Yeah, I think you get a stipend, but still, I mean.
Yeah. Depending on how much money you're making, elsewhere. But if it could replace your income, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to be taxed California, though, right?
I'm assuming it's in California.
And then, but really, like I said, I just feel like I would go in there and not do that, and then I'll paint myself as target, and then to TMI, yeah, man,
Well, okay, give us the fucking TMI and not.
Yeah, I do fart a lot. So okay, so I don't know how much that would.
I've been wondering what that smell was.
I don't know how much that would backfire on me, quite literally.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. Well, one day would definitely get you an episode. You get an episode about your farts.
Not the episode I want. And didn't know there were some elections.
Yeah, well, it's good to know. But I think with this, it's with the Big Brother thing, it's a complicated game. I would definitely come in there. I think I would try to win. I also wouldn't want anybody to know that I wasn't like necessarily trying, because that also get a target painted on your back. Like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Not trying to win.
Pull a hammy, then nobody knows.
That's true. No, I mean, I'm sure you could get away with it.
What's her face broke her leg the one year and then just got carried over
literally Christmas, I think.
Dude,
yeah, she got carried to then. And then she was with Josh. I fucking hated that guy.
Dude, okay. See, and here's another thing. Comment section. Okay. If somebody walks up to you with pots and pans and bangs them in your fucking face, are you allowed to retaliate in any way that you want? Dude, that was one of the most absurd situations.
You're asking it because that is what happened. But then if you give the context of like it not happening to you, who it happened to, this is a veteran, like fucking, he was like a military sniper.
Cody, right?
Yeah, it was like a military sniper or some shit. You don't talk about people that killed somebody. That guy 100% killed people. And yeah, they were, and he was even like when you mentioned Cameron, that's the first person I thought about when I was thinking about people I've seen on there that I thought would like, there's something wrong with him. Like that guy.
Did you watch him on Amazing Race?
I didn't. Was he what better?
Him and Jessica, right?
I don't remember who he. I remember
I think Jessica.
Show,
yeah,
so.
Dude, him and Jessica did Amazing. Dude, it was he was better on Amazing Race. They won almost everything, and then at the end, he literally carried her to an end, and it was just like they smoked everybody. No, it was Teddy Bear Mark. It was Teddy Bear Mark.
Oh. Well,
yeah, remember that's about Big Brother, Teddy Bear Mark.
That's who
the pots and pans were on. Big fucking muscle bound Mark.
Well, or are you sure that she's not talking about Amazing Race? That's okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Remember the big motherfucker, big buff motherfucker.
No.
Big as
I don't necessarily,
sweet.
But so that's who he was slamming the pans in front of. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm yeah. Either way, well, this year they actually had, I think it was this year they had a challenge, like the meatball challenge. Was that this year?
Josh,
that should actually piss me off a little bit. And I'm not one to get
like, challenge though.
A little bit, but I barely watched. I really don't watch the challenge, but I have seen that he's on there.
He's more bearable.
Okay,
nice guy.
Yeah, well, I'll say him being on the meatball challenge and stuff like that actually, I'm not somebody that gets like pissed. I know every year there's like random stuff that people say in the house that are like gets them canceled when they come out, and not that I'm saying that he necessarily should have been canceled, but them having that challenge and then kind of like, I guess, celebrating him as a previous contestant, I didn't really like. I thought it was stupid him being, because I thought he was disgusting. He was a bully. So how he treated people,
that was a bully season, and and trust me, my Twitter was hot on that because I don't like bullying.
Yeah,
and that was a very
he really bothered me
with
season that for sure. He really bothered me with that,
and it was like, dude, they bully the fuck out of everybody in the house, dude. Like honestly, like Paul, like that was one of my least favorite contestants I've ever seen on anything.
Paul's that the guy with the beard?
Yeah, and then he came back.
Oh, is he the one? Did Josh beat him?
Yes, and then he came, and that was when he came back, and everybody was like fangirling for him.
Yeah,
and that's basically what it was just like. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to show you guys how to do this," and then like everybody just like kept him around because they were all like just fans.
Well, but he did play. He's one of them. Like when you said play the game like too much or too hard or whatever.
Way too.
Yeah, he's one of them.
And they bullied people, but they would like act like that they weren't the bullies, and it's like, no, you can't passively aggressively bully everybody. Like we totally can't see it on TV. But then they got rewarded for it, and I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I give up on America right now.
Well, but Paul did it. Paul got this runner-up prize, but he had worked his ass off to be in that position the second time he was on the show, and then he lost to a fucking idiot like Josh. And then was it Josh that chose to bring? Paul. I think he might have had the opportunity, right? Because I know that
Paul won, and they brought Josh.
Okay, I know whoever won. Chose not to bring Christmas, and I remember that being a thing because I was like, bring Christmas, please, because out of all these motherfuckers, I don't even like her, but these motherfuckers are shitheads.
And then her and the one guy, when they had the All-Stars, they were again bullies, and then like he was like some like restaurateur down here in Florida, and then like he just had a baby, she has a baby, and then they like bullied somebody was like, oh, they're so aggressive, like called them aggressive. I think it might have been like Dave, I forget who it was, but called them aggressive, all this, and it's like Christmas is the one that has like an arrest for aggression, all this.
Really?
And then they both left the people they were with after the show and got together. I don't know if they're still together or not. Yeah, Christmas and him. But yeah, I don't know.
Christmas and who?
The guy from the All-Star season.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
But they but I don't know, man. She when she broke her leg and they carried her throughout the season, like that really pissed me off.
That's kind of another situation where it's sad that you broke your leg, but like similar to like the
if you can't compete,
the Syrian like Jared, like we're at the end of the day, I'm bitching at the reunion. That would be another one. Where I'm like, why the fuck was she able to just hang out? Like
she didn't have to compete for shit, and then nobody puts her up because you feel bad for her, and then like they try to like Survivor, someone tried to do the same thing. Like every challenge was fucking hurt,
her leg.
and it's like. And it's like, what the hell? Like, okay, we can't put you can't compete in anything. Why the fuck are you here? I reward competitors. I think that like in the challenge or in anything, I don't want to send the people who are easy home. My bad. I don't want to send the competition home. I want to send the people who I don't think deserve to be here or win again. But that comes from being an athlete, like sport background, competitive background.
Well, let's bring it back to because we'll wrap it up and we'll get back to the this season, because that's interesting. You brought that up, the competitor, that kind of stuff. Because this season, I feel like was one of the best executed plans between Jag and Matt to eliminate basically all the competition ahead of time and plan like a final 5 where it would be very plausible that they could win out. I mean, when they're bringing people like Siri, bringing Felicia, bringing Bowie Jane, who is like the only person she's loyal to is them. So I mean, she might be a little bit of a threat. And there's a few times where like Felicia and stuff, they did threat. So not to make it sound like they're not threats at all, but in like a physical competition, it's hard to say. Anybody that doesn't watch, these are older women. So a lot of the times in Big Brother, these older people end up getting kind of outcasted early. And you might have like one older person that makes it to like the final 7 or something. But usually at that point, their social game's tapped out and they get voted out.
Suri said it in Jury House. She goes, when they're talking about Jags eliminate like his record for wins, she's like, he's doing it against 2 senior citizens, an airhead and an idiot. And I'm like, oh my god. She said an
airhead and an idiot.
I'm like, oh my god, which one is which?
Which one's worse?
How's Bowie Jane, dude? Bowie Jane's an attorney.
Oh, really?
Yes. She's an
she was
attorney.
Like a DJ or something.
She's a DJ at night, but she's an attorney. That's her job. She's a lawyer in Australia.
Well, I mean, some people are book smart and just
bro,
like common sense.
But you can see she puts things together. She just sits
does.
there.
She does. Yeah.
She just sits there with her mouth open. So people
horse mouth open. Yeah, I
like her though.
She's cool. I don't. Well, I mean, she's done a good job. As far as like
that much.
Well, I mean, from the 1 week where she was the only person that didn't know about whoever that was getting voted out. From that point, and then finding new alliances that obviously will take her further. She at least took that as a sign and took it seriously, and then completely changed really who she was aligned with at that point. A lot of people, like I mean, Blue, for example, she had got backstabbed in random different ways, told like, hey, this is not what you think it is, and she was really hesitant to actually take it for what it is.
So do you think that America and Corey are going to be
who knows? I don't know.
You don't want to get into the romance.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
That shit honestly bothers me more times than not. I'm like just annoyed.
Bro,
by
what about
it.
Riley meeting fucking Matt's parents?
Oh, that was
outside the house.
He was like happy about that. I'd be a little scared. I'm like, how the fuck is she?
I'd be a little frightened. I'd be like,
she's trying to be Taylor Swift.
Like,
that's not Miss Kelsey, bitch. You need to fucking
And I wanted a letter from my mom. Why'd you send me one?
That was crazy.
I've known you for 3 weeks.
That would be shitty.
But hey, they're supposed to be together.
Yeah,
Blue still calls Jared Boo Boo and all that.
He didn't even know that though. I don't know how people like really
how'd you find his parents.
When I see adults like
I guess
this,
he's easy to Google.
That is one thing I hate about Big Brother, and I would be interested if I ever got the opportunity to go on the show. If there is this kind of like heightened level that just kind of like makes you fucking sound ridiculous. And then what I'm saying about what I'm speaking to specifically is you'll have people that are in a house for 3 weeks and they're talking about they love people. Less than that, really. I'm being generous, but they'll be in this house. They're like, I love this person. I would never. I'm like, dude, you don't fucking know each other, dude.
Well,
like,
you know the camera version.
All right, yeah.
Bro, how about fucking America and Corey in the shower in the one episode?
Oh, she like dropped down, hiding.
She dropped down, is down there for her.
Blew him.
Yeah,
that's what you're getting at. Let's just say
hey,
it. Yeah.
But listen, come on, man.
CBS.
Somebody was using condoms in the house.
Show us the shower cameras, man.
Oh god. but they flat out said that somebody was using condoms in the house. So it's like, which I think is crazy. But like, I don't know, like you have people who go and attach, which apparently, if you look at social media, Jared did, and then they play like the showmance as like just gameplay.
You said played like what? They go in attached?
Yeah, like they go in with like a partner.
Oh, Jared did?
Apparently he had some girlfriend, or at least somebody that he was seeing that took offense to him being with somebody else and posted everything on social media.
Damn. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, gotcha.
But the thing is, like, some people do that, and then like the showman is just part of the game, and it's like, I don't know about that.
Like the Cody situation where that chick was like married, she was like putting her feet all over him. They were cuddling.
Oh yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah,
this was the Derek and Cody season.
Yeah, that's again like see, shit like that. Yeah, I don't know if me and your husband can see you doing that and be like, all right, everything's
she's just playing the game right now.
Yeah, everything's great when you come home, you know. I
better bring home $500,000. You come home with fucking not shit.
I just feel like the different types of gameplays are interesting, and but I just really think it's kind of like a fight, man. You go into it with a game plan, and at the end of the day, everything goes out the window. You just go into survival mode.
Things change for sure.
I like to see how many challenges, but I mean, me and my wife, we always talk about. I think maybe Amazing Race would be the best
to do.
Yeah, I think there's the no voting out aspect, because again, like you can rub someone the wrong way. Like, dude, like you have like it's been better lately about like you being able to talk to people on the other side of the house. But there was a time where it's like, dude, anytime somebody went and like talked to anybody that's not in the group, it's like, oh, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What are they scheming? It's like, dude, I'm talking about our children and like our interests.
Well,
Because we're in this house together.
It's fair though. You have to take whatever information you have, and sometimes they've been right about that. So, like, I think it might have been Siri that pointed it out with what was it, Jag to Matt. She was like, "Hey, look at Bowie Jane and Jag.
Oh, that was Felicia, yeah.
Oh, okay. So look at Bowie Jane and Matt. Like, it's pretty obvious that they're getting closer, and you may still be where you're at, but you know, like they're closing that gap, and also it should be telling that." Not necessarily from Jag's standpoint, but from Bowie Jane's standpoint, that if she happened to win, like Jag's building that alliance, I think more so from that angle than it is from his
she
own.
Brings him
exactly, just in case. So that I think is wise to look at, but also definitely people blow it out of proportion. There's been times people have blew up their own alliance and fucked it up based off those kind of insinuations. So what you were talking about with Matt and Jag, by the way, and then I'll pass to you, is them being transparent and talking to each other about it, be willing to have that conversation. Saved their game, to be honest, saved their game, because if they would have pulled a Red and Cameron said, okay, well, at this point, I take that for whatever it is, and we won't talk about it. You know, and yeah, you'll be out just like both of them were.
But I just know, me personally, I can't not talk to everybody because I just like it. Everybody. So I'm going to want to talk to everybody, even if we don't see eye to eye on a lot, like even in the game, I'm not going to hold it personally, and I'm still going to want to like talk. So it's like so many people are going to be like, oh, you talk to too many people. So then it's like, all right, Amazing Race, I can at least control.
Well, I think you could do that. It would just be, you have to manage your time. If all of a sudden you're like hanging out with people that you're not in alliance with more than you just have to make sure you're not neglecting that relationship like anything. If you're managing it, I think it'll do fine for you. Like, I mean, we saw people who were on opposite sides of the house this year. That's what you started by talking about, like it's gotten better, but play like pool and stuff like that together. So I think you would still have that opportunity, but it is like we're seeing Jag almost more or with Bowie Jane as much as he's with Matt. And I don't even think that Matt should be super concerned with that. I think that's why he should have
got Bowie Jane out.
Should have got Felicia out and not put Suri out. They already know that that's a relationship, and I mean, it is what it is. He just needed to stand on that. Jag wasn't willing to go against him, but he basically didn't make it easy for Matt, as far as like, I'm not going to just do it without like making you tell me that you want me to keep the nomination the same or whatever the fuck it was at that point. I don't remember, but either way, dude, we got to recap the win next week. Whatever happens there, we got to make that happen. Tuesdays, we're going to be going live every week, at the very least Tuesdays, probably more than that as well. Yeah, go check it out.
Because I know that November 7th is today. We did have elections today. I don't know what the outcome was.
No, yeah, let us know. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to Sit in Politic. Go find us on all platforms. Paul B. Balcom, go find him on the platforms as well. Instagram and Twitter. He's really entertaining on there. Go check out all of our friends. Gates Open Media. Go find him on YouTube. Go find The Andretti. Go find Deuce Andretti at Twitter. It's hilarious on Twitter. Wild follow. One of my favorite follows on the entire platform. I'm not kidding. It's not because I know him and love him, but he's legitimately a wild man. Just note that Kent said that I was running but got home and then didn't hop on here. His sound was fucked up in the car. He was on Hamas internet and he never got that figured out. So here we are. Sit in Politic, though. We're signing off after 3.5 hours. This was great vibing with you guys. We will do it again Tuesdays, like I said. Stay tuned. We might switch up the time, go a little bit later. Let us know what works for you guys. And you guys got to do 2025 elections. Oh yeah, for sure. We got to get out there. We got to get out there in the field. Let me know if there's any events that you would like to see us cover. That's really what I'm interested in at this point as well. Go into like some protests, just even random events, and just documenting. That's a lot of fun. Go check out our Trump indictment video that we did. We got to talk to a lot of interesting people and grab some good content. What did you find?
I'm trying to find out what she's affiliated with, but Debbie Lux won for city council.
Oh, nice. Yep,
Punta Gorda.
Very nice. So yeah, we have some elections today. We will definitely cover all the stuff coming up with presidential election and all the shenanigans as far as like some of the state elections. But make sure you subscribe, show some love, stick around. Sit in Politic. It's all love. Oh, thank you. We'll get you next time. Peace out.